Let the bouncing begin! Repeat after Tigger. Mrs. Kingdom! You let it all loose. Mrs. Kingdom! The collection always does whatever. Very good friend, the collection always accepted. The collection always does whatever. Very good friend, collection the collection always does whatever. Very good friend, the collection always accepted. The collection always does whatever. Very good friend, the collection always very good friend, very good friend, very good friend, very good friend. Mrs. Kingdom. There's something moving. Mrs. Kingdom. There's something moving.
And hello, chat. Welcome to another episode of Morning Nonsense. And today I started a little bit later today because today is a holiday, and that way everyone can sleep in. I know everyone can sleep a little bit later, about 30 minutes later, but a little bit later it is, nonetheless. So, hope everyone is having a fantastic day so far. I know I am. So, I have some interesting news to tell you in just a second. Just a little bit. Let's see here. What about? Hail. Hello. What about? Hello. Let's see here. The numbers is starting at 9 today. Well, yes. Today is because usually whenever I start off a morning nonsense stream, I think where the next day, where that day is a holiday or something like that. You know, we usually start off on a Saturday. Let people sleep in a little bit. You know, enjoy your holiday for a little bit. That sort of thing. Let's see. So yeah, that's why I decided to do that for 30 minutes. 30 minutes later. This is a the weekend time. The weekend time is 8 a.m. instead of 7 a.m. or instead of 7:30/8:30 a.m. Weekend time is 8 a.m. / 9 a.m. depending on which American time you're on, Central or Eastern. But here we go. Here's Schroeder. Welcome. How you been? Through the numbers. Well, hello, Schroeder. Welcome to the chat. And Demon of Thy Sword, thank you very much for the day. 9.99 super chat. Fantastic. Let me see here. The Wizard Slayer will be uploaded within the week. Oh, awesome. I really enjoyed the Wizard Slayer. I think you were going to do like some sort of reading of it. Sounds good. Let's see here. And 2, the objection emote is finished. But in case you didn't like it, let's have more users make submissions. I enjoyed it. I think an objection emote would be very helpful, especially since what we cover is really strange nonsense. And 3, more importantly, where's Sayaka? Now that is a great question. 'Cause if you didn't know, chat, I've been doing on the weekends, and today actually, because today is a holiday, I'm planning to do a stream later on where I continue my dive into Danganronpa. And Sayaka is one of the early victims of this very strange, very anime murder mystery. So thank you very much for that, Demon of Thy Sword. And let's see here. There we go. Let's see. Dr. Crow. Hello, Dr. Crow. Good morning, Dr. Crow. And let's see, Archmage. Archmage. Welcome, Archmage. He's a demon. He knows things. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. What else we have here? And I do have some guests for today. They're waiting for me. Just 1 second. 1 second. Ben Z, thank you much too. Appreciate that. Hello and good morning. Well, hello, Ben Z. Welcome, 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 welcome. Semantic Dragon. The lighting is so by. Yes, yes. We have to have some very inclusive lighting. That's what Morning Nonsense is. Very inclusive. Very happy. And let me go ahead 1 second here. Pop it down. And here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream, Glib and and Shiny, and of course, Lord Captain. Welcome all of you. Welcome, welcome.
It's good to
Hello.
be here, as usual.
Thank you for joining me. I have some Star Wars stuff to go over today, and
Oh, lovely.
I thought I smelled some Star Wars.
because it's actually good news this time. Actually, good news. It's the artists,
thank
the
goodness.
freelance artists, kind of rising up against the travesty that is the mainstream Star Wars.
Oh, good.
Which I always like
Thank
to see.
goodness.
You know,
A
it
surprise
used
to be
to
sure,
be-
but a welcome one.
Yeah, oh yeah, I loved it. It's like because one thing that's I really love this in the current era is that there used to be that the artists were kind of hounded into submission with these people. They say, okay, you made your own iteration, your own your own vision of this character. Well, you're racist and stuff, and so there'd be a big gigantic Twitter brigade, Twitter mob to silence them. And then they would take down their art pieces, and at the very worst, or the very best, they would take down their art pieces. At worst, they would delete their entire social media because artists tend to be very sensitive people, and it's very difficult and it's very legitimately scary if you don't know how to handle this stuff. You don't know what's coming to you, and you're facing it down a Twitter mob for the first time. You don't know what you've done wrong. It feels like the whole world is coming down on you, like you're the worst person on earth. So it's a very scary thing. But artists have been used to it. People, more and more of these artists have learned about this Twitter mob brigade stuff, and they've lost all the fear. So I have good news about that with Star Wars. And if you remember, I think Shiny, at least you saw this the Luke Skywalker stuff. How trying to feminize
Oh,
the
yeah.
Skywalker. I think you're very pleased with how
Again,
the fandom.
it's not just Luke; it's Anakin too.
Yeah, Anakin too. This
Yeah.
feminize the Skywalker boys. I have no idea why. It's very okay. No, I do know why. Because they're weirdos. People who
Yeah.
control the Star Wars are a bunch of weirdos. I see. Light Yagami, welcome to the chat. Light Yagami, Doctor Crow. I want to make sure that I get the full story and know everything about the characters and getting of the anime series. At which my free time and Gundam is 40 years old. It's so I take. Yeah, that's this problem about the Gundam series. It's kind of has the same problem as almost has the same problem as American comics. Where do you start? Where do you begin? Well, it's a little easier on that front. However, there are different timelines of. I think there are two different timelines, or maybe even three different timelines of Gundam, depending on how you look at it. But welcome everyone, welcome, welcome. Let's see, Mark in 3D. So I saw Mark in 3D in there somewhere. Chekhov's antlers. Morning all. Good morning at Chekhov's antlers. Trev Avis. So happy I didn't have to go to work today. See, that's why I started a little bit later today, because I know at least in America today is a holiday. Today is a holiday. It's Memorial Day. So I know a lot of people didn't have to go to work today. A lot of people were off. And see, Market 3D, holiday? Yes, holiday. Mark Baptist 702, welcome. Seems like the media would still have toxic fandoms. Yeah, and they're all the weirdos. Like all the real fans, all the fans that were built into these franchises that already, they are the real fans, and the toxic fans are the ones that they've been courting for some reason. They're all
Yeah,
strange.
it's strange. Yeah, it's really weird. Why are they doing this? They're not
They're
going to
gonna-
make money.
Yeah, they don't.
Like,
It's
you
been
could do that, you could, but why? Why do you do that? Why do any of that?
Why make money? Money's evil. Did you know that? Money's the root of all evil is money. That's what they say. That's actually a lie. The root of all evil is not money.
Of course.
Of
The love
course.
of money to the expense. The love of money to the expense of all else is the root of all evil.
Let's see. I think Plato has it. I forgot what Plato had. Plato's exact quote on that one, but he kind of described the root of all evil, what it actually is. Benzie, but where are the organs? I love that one. I love that one. It's always where are the organs? Because if they're not like 300 pounds and ugly, it's always where are the organs? Ouch, your back. Especially if they're we'll say well endowed. It's always when it comes to artists when they draw female characters.
Ignorance.
Yeah, if they make them curvaceous, it's ouch, where her organs or ouch, her back, that sort of thing. And then so I love when the artists come out and say, I actually copied off a cosplayer. She actually looks like this, and they show the picture of the cosplayer, and she actually looks like that. Where are her organs? She's a real life person. I guess she has no organs either. Then it's not like that. Your organs are it's like it's almost as if organs don't come in one standard universal size, and it's like almost as if organs kind of grow to the size they need to be.
Organs are a social construct.
Yeah, you don't actually have organs.
I actually found the quote.
Oh, fantastic!
It was ignorant. Ignorance is the root of all evil.
There it is. There it is. Kind of scary for them to acknowledge that, isn't it?
And don't we know that? It seems like we're living in a realm where our entertainment industry and the franchises we love so much are run by people who are completely ignorant to it.
See, R Master DX, welcome to the chat. Okay, because capitalism is evil. Thanks for the super chat.
Capitalism and bad.
Yeah, capitalism and bad. Speaking of
Of
capitalism,
course, what we should do is we should just abandon all money and just live in trees.
abandon all
That
money.
sounds terrible.
You know.
Eat-
One day
eat-
I actually
eat
do
bugs.
want to do that, but I'll probably be dead by then.
And don't forget to eat bugs too, and live in concrete.
Yeah.
Delicious
Okay, yeah,
bugs.
we can do that. We can, but maybe try in about 80 years. Maybe after I'm dead, you can do it then.
And that sounds
No,
good.
This is Project Mayhem. We're all gonna end
The-
up.
Project Mayhem.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is,
yeah.
nothing is stopping these people from either A, going to a communist country, or B, running into the trees and doing whatever the fuck they want to do there.
Oh, by the way, speaking of capitalism and all that good stuff, turns out a very prominent commentator has come out in favor of Dr. Alpha.
Oh.
see,
Oh, sweet.
the very
Ooh.
great and wonderful Alex Jones.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
I love this. I can't wait. Let's do it.
Oh, that's great.
As voice of support is very enthusiastic Alan Jonesian support. Alex Jonesian
Alan
support.
Jones. It's not the real Alex Jones. It's knockoff Alex Jones that you get at the 99
It's
cents.
Alex Jones' brother.
Alan Jones.
He does run Info Battalion. Not Info
Info
War.
Battalion.
See, look, right, Info Battalion right here. See?
Oh gosh, that's hilarious.
I love Dr. Alpha.
But here we go. He expressed his very enthusiastic support for Dr. Alpha. Hope everyone was ready. I was very excited to see this, when he sent this to me on his show, on his very real show. So let's check it out, shall we?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Info Battalion. We are live with the scariest news. Washington liberals and their pet Gestapo in tights, aka those flying Nazis we call superheroes, floating around over our heads, watching everything we do like some kind of kinky, degenerate big brother, never wanted you to know. And you're about to hear it first and hear it live on Info Battalion. But before we get into that, I wanted to talk about something that I know even some of you might find controversial. But you come to me for the uncensored, unbridled truth. That's what I'm here to give you, folks. Dr. Alpha is considered the most dangerous supervillain of our time. The lamestream media wants you to believe this guy's a monster. They want you to hate him. Now, sure, he's done some bad things. Built a doom cannon on the moon, vandalized the Mona Lisa, set off a nuke, traded hostages for the rights to Star Wars. But while the CIA was busy microchipping your kids, Dr. Alpha was busy microchipping the CIA. Ladies and gentlemen, I live in fear for the day my little girl won't have any rights left because the communists voted them all away. But I look to the news and see Dr. Alpha spitting in the faces of the devils who run the White House. And remember when he kidnapped that one vegan actress from Los Angeles and he made her eat a pound of hamburger on live television? Now that is always a classic. What I'm trying to say, folks, is while red-blooded patriots like myself lie awake at night waiting for the commies and capes to knock down my door and drag my children off to the glue factory, Dr. Alpha has the government and those Hollywood elites lying awake in fear. He's the one guy they can't stop. Dr. Alpha is a tyrant's worst nightmare. He's the sword of Damocles swinging over the heads of those soulless demons, and I'm loving every second of it. Love him or hate him, secret societies, governments, pampered Hollywood elitists, he's taking everything they're dishing out and shoving it right back down their throats. I'm proud to call him my fellow American. God bless Dr. Alpha. Anyway, folks, up next, is there a hole in the sun, and is that where the Illuminati are keeping Elvis? We'll find out in just a moment. This is Info Battalion.
And there we go.
That was absolutely
that's
terrible.
great. That was great. That was amazingly awful.
Very glad to have this very eager and enthusiastic support from the great Alan Jones of Info Battalion. Thank you very much, Alan Jones.
Alan Jones.
Travis Evans says Dr. Alpha takes super male vitality. Obviously, he does. In fact, that's where they get him from. He just
No, he takes the bone broth.
yeah,
The bone broth.
bone broth. So no, I couldn't finish the episode, of course. So I don't know if there actually is a hole in the sun, and I don't know if that's where the Illuminati actually is keeping Elvis. I have to go back and watch it.
Who knows?
I think they scrubbed that episode off YouTube for being too truthful.
Yeah, too truthful. We can't expose the truth, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Can't expose that truth. I see Drake the Duelist. Dr. Alpha spits on the face of people who don't want to be cool. He certainly does. He certainly does. And I'm pretty sure we all remember when Dr. Alpha captured that one actress and force-fed her some hamburger on TV, even though she was vegan. That was a classic. That was a classic.
What a monster.
You know, he can get away with so much shit because he's evil.
Because he's evil.
Yeah,
True.
because he's cool. It's the cool factor.
It wouldn't be cool, Anakin.
It wouldn't be cool.
And if you want to be,
Who's this Holdo woman? Nobody knows this. There's no one's invested in that. Who is she?
New clip.
oh,
Nice.
great, 10 out of 10. Still haven't
yeah,
claimed everything is racist.
Not yet. Not yet.
My dad's actually vegetarian, but it's mostly just because he chooses to eat healthy and he just drinks protein shakes.
You know, I admire that. I like utilitarian reasons for things. If people want to end up being vegan or whatever because it makes sense, then go for it.
There's
But,
nothing I don't have anything.
Sorry, I was just gonna say what I don't like are people that are like, I'm vegan. You're not vegan.
No, my dad's
okay,
not
you're
like
vegan.
that.
What's your name though?
It's vegan.
Vegan.
I have a problem with people who are like vegan or vegetarian. It's just there's a certain amount of those who are fucking nuts.
They're self-righteous pricks.
Well, there's the self-righteous, and then there's the fucking lunatics,
Yeah,
which
my dad's
really
not
give them a bad name. Oh yeah, of course your dad's not like a fucking lunatic.
Yeah,
and
thankfully.
like
Thankfully.
I've met people like at my college who are vegans, and even they are like, hey, look, I don't call myself a vegan in public because I know there's now like a certain group of people who people will see me as one of those because of how they act.
Yeah, and my dad, well, partially it was health, but originally it was like some of our sprinklers broke, and the old family dog was buried, and so he had to dig up the family dog, and bad things had happened and smelled bad, and put it off meat for a long time, and now he bikes up to Salt Lake and American Fork. It's like an hour and a half bike ride up there, but he just doesn't use a car.
Lucky Jinx, welcome, Lucky Jinx. Is Tug going to be here? No, not this time. He's planning to make it one of these days, but to go over all the hilarious things that have been happening in Comics Gate recently. But he hasn't been able to make it just yet. He hasn't been able to plan it out just yet. But he has expressed interest in coming back on for like a full stream one of these days.
This time he won't escape.
Yeah, this time he can't escape. And for now we have this is this interesting thing on Twitter I found with Star Wars concerning Star Wars. A nuclear take on The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, great!
It's a nuclear take. That's how bad it is.
Define. Okay, what is this idiot saying?
It's a nuclear take on the Star Wars.
So he says, this guy named Brendan Hodges says, if The Empire Strikes Back came out today, the backlash would have revivaled The Last Jedi. It's a mostly plotless road movie where nothing happens, every character sucks and fails, and the Vader twist contradicts the last movie. And the worst of all, the bombs drop in space.
Oh, didn't I respond?
I will fucking murder this person.
No, you're supposed to say Marmite.
Yeah, it's supposed to say Marmite.
No, I'm beyond Marmite.
It has gone beyond Marmite.
Beyond Marmite. Beyond the Marmite Dome.
Okay, so this is echoing what a lot of fuckwits like Ryan Johnson keep spouting. It's like, oh, if Empire Strikes Back came out today, then, oh, imagine what insane backlash that would have. Oh, back when Empire Strikes Back released, everyone hated it. Like, everyone hates Last Jedi. Like, no, that's just simply not the truth.
Last Jedi is hated because it's a poorly written mess with a B plot that went nowhere. It's also way too long.
Another thing about
way too long.
Bombs. So the thing is about the bombs is that you can assume there's some kind of launcher system there, which launches them down.
Or propeller.
Yeah.
Or propelled.
The thing is, the problem with the bombs in The Last Jedi, it's because they're not propelled, they just drop, and they're done so weirdly. And even if you look at the, I don't care at this point, but still, like, no one has a problem with the fucking TIE bombers. Find me one person that has a problem with TIE bombers, and I'll just fucking punch them in the face.
Also, we can keep in mind that they're bombing a meteor? It's like an asteroid. Huge asteroid that we see Han and Leia walk around on. Like they're in a monster that inside that monster they can walk around in very easily. So we can kind of assume that a giant asteroid like that has its own gravity. Just a little bit. It's large. It's big enough for its own gravity. So yeah, remember in Last Jedi? Remember how there was no gravity? It was just a literal ship. It's a little ship bombing other ships in space with no gravity inside. And also, I believe these TIE bombers, they're torpedoes that they just kind of like drop downwards. So,
let's get the incredible cross section here.
Let's see here. So yeah, I think this area actually has gravity on it. This asteroid
even then, it doesn't matter if it has gravity, because you can assume that they would have some kind of system that pushes the bombs.
Yeah, and we literally saw how the bombs work in The Last Jedi. They just drop them like in World War II or something.
Yeah, it would make sense if that was a land. It would make sense if that was a land craft, or on planet craft, the
Last Jedi bombers.
Yeah,
I think
that would work.
Planet, but that doesn't even make sense on planet, because while it makes sense that the bombs would drop down in gravity, but the thing is about that is that you now have a ship that is still flying incredibly slow. It's going to hover over its target. It himself is a huge target. I imagine just one anti-aircraft weapon just going to pop, and then it's going to explode.
But three or four of them at the same time.
Speed. So it just doesn't make sense that it'd be used to attack any kind of target, because nonetheless a ship. Because if a ship can just move, like it's like, oh look, you're coming towards me with this bomb, I'm just gonna reverse up or turn around or just not stay in the same place. Again, fucking Y-wings they were fine. They worked. They bombed things and they served their purpose.
It's so weird that military technology degrades. If you're going to make something, don't make it more stupid. I don't care if your idiot republic demilitarized. That's a ridiculous.
They demilitarized and made a bigger bomber that had more bombs.
And see, the Insulting race sucked. Also, their energy blasts. They could just be shot out. The bombs in TLJ are actually dropped. They're dropped. The bombs you actually have to drop. The material bombs you actually have to drop. I just thought it was so funny to see in the movie that they did all that drama to drop the bombs and just like pull out and say that they pull out the camera and see all the bombs just kind of drop and then it just fall out of the ship and just kind of float away without dropping towards the enemy ship and Tico's sister ended her life for no reason. That'd been hilarious. Like and it's like okay, hey little genius, you're not supposed to be dropping bombs in space. It doesn't work that way. This all floated away.
That's not how the Force works.
That's not how logic works. Let's see here. Rage Tornado. Don't forget that SJW's logic is obsolete. Yeah, it's kind of the old logic that kind of is the opposite of logic. It's kind of the old school logic. That
why don't we just call it what it is? Anti-logic.
It's tyrannical logic. It's tyrant logic.
Or you could call it what it is and call it retardation.
That too. That works. I'm cool with that.
Let's see. Okay, so I'm guessing that no one really agrees with this little hot take that this guy had.
This guy not only has a bad taste, he also is factually inaccurate.
So you don't think it's the most plotless road movie ever, where nothing happens?
No, there is a plot. It is an Odyssey structure. It's more freeform, but it's not a plotless road movie.
Lots of character development.
It's a chase movie in the same way that it's plotless in the same way something like Jason Bourne is plotless. Which is to say that there is a plot. It is just a very simple, straightforward one.
Also, to cap this all off, you know how I always say that these people are they're not actually fans of Star Wars. That they say that they're
not.
Star Wars. And
they're posing.
Yeah, they're posing as fans of Star Wars, so they can actually blend into it. Will not blend, but infiltrate the community. I'll say. I think the best word is infiltrate the community, and then loudly, so that the people the creators who are in charge of Star Wars will start changing things to their whims because they scream the loudest and the longest and the most annoying. Check this out. So this guy has his take right, and then at the very end he says, in case it wasn't obvious, these are not digs at The Empire Strikes Back. This is literally my favorite movie of all time. So this actually happens, chat. This actually happens. They actually say things like this.
It's another stupid defense of The Last Jedi saying, "Oh look, well if it came out today, then everyone would hate it." It's like
no, because it's written well.
Everybody loves. Most people, I would say, love Infinity War. Would everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Infinity War is. I actually would say is Infinity War.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Infinity War is actually. What?
Go on. Yeah. What
I would say. I was just going to say
spit it out,
like,
sir. Spit it out.
Are you finished?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I would say that like Infinity War is actually like a better version of Empire than Empire, in terms of what it's trying to achieve and making it so that we're giving us a very mature story where the good guys lose at the end, just like how they lose in Empire Strikes Back. Technically,
I don't know how I feel about that since
the better Empire
War,
than
I
Empire.
feel like there's a lot of issues. Yeah, Infinity War
there
makes
are
less sense to
issues.
me than Empire.
I would say so, but I think that it. Oh, sorry.
Just to make sure you talk about Infinity War and not Endgame, there, Glib.
Endgame is.
Yes, I understand. Infinity War is much better than Endgame. Endgame to me is a minor nuclear meltdown.
It's kind of a mess, yeah.
It doesn't really
time travel. First of all, it's got time travel.
Yes, exactly. It's just as time goes by, people are gonna speak more negatively about it. But until then, I'm just gonna wait because I know it's a hot take or whatever. But Infinity War is also a hot take because I think Infinity War is overrated.
I think time travel is fine, but the problem is you have to be very, very careful with how you handle time travel in an IP that's not designed to handle time travel. So you have to make sure the rules are very explicit, and the rules have to be written in a way that isn't going to contradict what has came before. So, for example, you can't like you can't go back in time and do this. Okay, so why don't they go back in time to a point where Thanos had all the Infinity Stones and just kill Thanos, take his Infinity Stones, and then undo the snap, because he has pretty much all of them there in that point. There's no reason for why they don't do that, and it's kind of puzzling. So you need to set up and establish. They didn't even properly explain the time travel in Endgame, because there are inferences you can make about certain theories about time travel. Like one of them was like you go into a different dimension, and they briefly touched upon it, but they didn't explain it properly, and it's kind of confusing, saying that. And I'm not going to go into it, but yeah, when you do time travel, fine. You just need to be very careful and very specific, and you need
when
to
you do time travel, don't.
Yeah, don't do time travel.
Yeah,
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, that's
just
kind of
a bit of advice. Just make sure that they can't do time travel again if you are going to introduce it and like as a one-time thing.
Infinity War is your story on Infinity War is your story. Okay, the end game is your story on time travel.
Oh, when I was kids time travel, just say just a random thing, because I know Rebels did it. If you are at least going to introduce time travel, make a reason why they can't continue to time travel. What the time travel device needs to be removed by the end of your story, so that way it can't be a plot hole in later stories.
Yeah, I think there's actually, I don't know if like this is a common saying, but I've heard that the sign of a franchise that needs to end is either time travel or going into space.
Let's see. Okay, so
like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles went back in time for that third.
Sometimes it's fun. Like if it's like not, it's like more cartoony, then it's a lot more. It's a lot easier to take in. But when it's a big budget movie series that's taking itself seriously, like the Marvel movies, maybe not. And Doctor Who doesn't take itself seriously all that much. I mean, it's a lot of serious moments and drama in there, but
things like Doctor Who,
it's built on time travel.
Yeah, I'd say Doctor Who and Back to the Future are franchises which are built on the concept of time travel. So that way they can get away with time travel because that's the central premise. That's what the show's all about.
Yes.
The thing is about adding something like time travel to, say, for instance, Star Wars, is that it's not the universe is not designed to withhold time travel. And that's not going to be the basis of all the story. So you can have time travel in one episode, then the next episode is going to be without time travel. So you need a reason for why they can't time travel again.
Yeah.
And why you need to basically make sure that it causes as little problems as possible. And really, you should make sure that you have a reason to introduce time travel in the first place.
Yeah,
because it can be used as a very cheap device in some stories, like Endgame.
Simple Tom says,
with that.
Rule 1: when you do time travel, don't, or else you get bagel theory. Okay, you don't want bagel theory. Bagel theory is how you got the Last Jedi. Okay, so if I'm pretty sure that the Empire Strikes Back is not a plotless road movie where nothing happens. A lot of things happen.
Yeah.
In fact, things happen there that didn't happen in Last Jedi, like character development.
Luke goes for training. He leaves his training early. There's the whole thing on Hoth. There's the whole thing on Bespin. They fucking get tortured and they escape. And
we get Lando.
Then Luke finds out. Like Luke finds out that his father's Darth Vader, and then like he has this whole fight with him, and then he almost dies. Absolutely nothing happens. It's not like you could skip this film, because when the idea if you say nothing happens, you're trying to inferring that you could skip the film and you would have no gap between episode 4 and episode 6. But if you go from episode 4 to 6, you're going to be confused about why Han Solo suddenly locked up in Carbonite.
Yeah.
And the only thing that really happens that actually has to be carried over to the Rise of Skywalker is that Luke Skywalker died for no reason.
Same with Snoke.
Exactly. So, hardly anything happened. Two people died. That's it. Nothing other plot-wise actually changed in The Last Jedi, except Rey got more powerful. This is the whole movie
Yeah.
about how powerful Rey is, super special, awesome she is.
Yeah, it's just boring. That's the main problem. And yet my sisters ate it up, and I hated it so much.
Drake the
I
Duelist?
hate-
I've always joked that we don't have time travel IRL because some dingus misuses it so dramatically that somebody had to go back in time to kill the time machine inventor. I'm pretty sure that might have actually happened. It could have actually gone that way. I could see that happening.
Who knows?
Let's see. So go ahead. That's want to run that by you. This is an interesting take I saw someone have. But let's get to some good stuff. One artist actually rose up against the trend here, and
Thank goodness.
let me go ahead.
Good
and
for that person.
do
You
this first.
absolute legend.
Mhm.
Get this up there first. Okay, and so this is what we saw the other day. This is how they portray Luke, which is like
Oh.
Karen Skywalker, pretty much.
Kill it with fire. That's all I'll
Okay.
say. Kill it with fire.
And the artist rose up and said, "No, this is not how you draw a man." Okay,
Yeah.
it's not how you
This
draw Luke
looks like a-
Skywalker.
That looks weird.
This is
Please
how you-
kill it.
This is how you draw someone's wine onto who complains about managers and stuff. Okay, it's not Luke Skywalker. So they changed it up. What do you think about this?
It's
That's
better.
better.
It is actually much
Leia-
better. But
Leia's
I
my
would
sister.
still.
It's not that
I think
good.
It's still
It's
no.
better.
It's
I think they wanted to
No,
keep like
I can
the
s-
original like
yeah,
art
yeah.
form, just made it a few
I
changes so that
understand.
it looks more like a
I
man.
understand that. I understand they're
At
working
least
within
it's like a-
limitations of things like the art
He
style.
no longer has those like those luscious lips anymore. Okay,
Mhm.
he doesn't have girl lips
But
anymore.
it's actually a huge
So
improvement.
here's what it used to be. He
Yeah.
doesn't have soy mouth anymore either.
Ugh.
That's
I
soy
have a-
mouth. That's an actual masculine gasp.
I have a huge respect for fan artists because they are so great
Uh-oh.
and talented and have so much passion.
Yeah.
Fill up. Hopefully,
I'm honestly honored to know like quite a lot of them who have made some brilliant works,
Mhm.
including this little helmet here I have.
and there's one more. There's one more. Let's check it out. Put it up here, and there's an artist did another one, so let's put it up here. And here we go. So this is what Luke Skywalker looked like in this version. Master Yoda is Darth Vader, my father. I must know. It's what it looked like before. Another iteration of Karen, Karen
That-
Skywalker.
That's so incompetent. It's so incompetent.
And this is what it turned into. This is what they changed it to. Looks more like Luke Skywalker there, I think.
Dang. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, that actually looks fine. I would be fine with that. Like, I don't like. I prefer something like Naomi Batello's art style. Maybe I can pull some of that up since that's some actually good artwork. Let me see. I'm gonna look up something that's nice and masculine.
Yes, it actually looks like a man. If they had to portray Luke
Yes.
Skywalker in this weird, kid-friendly way, I think this would be a better way to go rather than Darth Karen over here. Which,
Darth Karen is too flattering.
Master Yoda, I must speak to your manager immediately.
Sawed off with that. Sawed off.
You see, insulting race. Those lips look added on. They kind of do, don't they? They kind of do.
Yeah.
The
They look
Squirrel
like they
Jedi,
were at
Fluke,
post.
Fluke Skywalker. That's a good
It's
one.
actually a good. It's a good movie about reincarnation. It's really weird, but I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we have
So-
Star Wars stuff for right now, but
Wait, I have something else.
Mhm.
So just because we're on the topic of comics, this is kind of old. This is quite old, but you're looking for the pages of the comic of the Siege of Mandalore, and for a little bit of context, this is made by one artist who wanted to bring the story idea of the Siege of Mandalore, which was originally an unfinished episode of the Clone Wars. There was no sign of Clone Wars being revealed, being revived at the time. So she took it upon herself to draw every single one of these panels, and it never got finished. But it's still at least the art style, and like there's so much effort that goes into every single one of these frames.
Holy cow!
Never got finished, but at least the men look like men and the women look like women. It's It used to be not. It used to be kind of a given, but now it's applause worthy. It's kind of like how a mainstream and professional actually acts like a professional, and doesn't actually hate the fans. That's actually applause worthy these days.
She actually put so much work into this that it actually ended up. She had to take a break because of how much work she was putting into it.
I know
it took a lot. No, don't join DeviantArt.
I'm not gonna join DeviantArt. Let's see. But it looks good. It looks good. Everyone looks like how they should. The clones are not a legion of guys with gigantic duck face lips. Race added on in the sense that they weren't in the original artwork and just passed on later. It pasted on later. Could be. Where are his organs though? And he says, "Where are his organs?" Yeah, where are his organs? Probably on his lips. That's why they're so large. Let's see. So, speaking of comic books, there was another DC comics. DC Batman actually had a nice take of their own on Batman. I want to see if you agree with this take or not. Let's see.
I get the feeling I am not.
So DC says if Batman can stay at home, then you can too. Connected together. It's mainly to complain about people wanting to go back to work and everything, wanting to go back out into the, get back to normal, a normal everyday life. Like, for example, going back to work and making money for your family. And what is with this trend of all these people with mansions and millions to billions of dollars in Batman's case, dictating to normal people what they should be doing?
It's so stupid. I hate it.
Bruce Wayne lives in a mansion, and he's a trust fund kid and doesn't have to work to survive. Okay, if he did, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have enough time to be Batman. I don't think he can. He can easily stay at home and ride out this whole pandemic. He could. First of all. Okay. Second of all, he's Batman.
He's the comics equivalent of Scrooge McDuck in terms of how much ridiculous amounts of money he has.
Yeah, he can afford his satellites and stuff. So he has a lot of money. He's a lot of money. And so we have Batman. DC thinks Batman, if he were living in today's time, if he were living during a pandemic lockdown, that he would be just in his house, not going out and fighting crime. Because, all the criminals in Gotham, they will obviously obey the pandemic laws. Gee whiz, boss. We're under lockdown. Oh, you don't say. I did not know that. Thank you for telling me that, Lenny. Obviously, we can't do the bank robbery today. That's going out and doing bank robberies against the law because we can't go out today. Social distancing is the key word today, Lenny.
Antisocial distancing is better.
Antisocial distancing.
Can I just distance myself in general from this planet?
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
I want to live on a space station with my friend Dr. Alpha.
Yes.
Do science experiments and clone cat girls.
And he's apparently Dr. Alpha is really cool. He got plugged by Alan Jones.
Did you hear he owns Star Wars now?
Yeah, it's cool, Anakin. Yeah,
it's very cool. Dr. Alpha is my favorite thing about him is he's cool. And he allows me to do my evil science experiments.
Let me see. Let me get this up here. I think the first thing that popped in my head when I saw this is that has DC Comics ever read Batman before? Because that's not how Batman would act.
I mean, Batman's like, I can't go out. There's a virus out. I could put on something over my cowl, and I have all this technology, but I'm going to be really lazy and not help anybody. I'm going to stay inside and play video games.
Batman had anti-shark repellent that makes sharks explode. Or she has something to guard him against the pandemic.
Nope. He's weak.
I don't think Batman's out socializing when he beats up criminals.
No, he's not. I think he would probably just wear some kind of bat spacesuit or bat bubble.
Well, he often has like bat, like you know, kind of like a weird Iron Man suit. Like he'll sometimes have that in like most continuities. Some end up looking like a Hulkbuster though. I remember one from like Batman Beyond and the Batman animated show. That he had some of those, and then even the Harley Quinn animated show, which is still coming out. Like he had like they were basically taking the piss out of Iron Man, like to the point where he had a bat suit, which was pretty much 1-for-1 Iron Man suit.
See, insult to the race thing, Mitch with 5, appreciate that. As rightly spoken by Demon of the Sword, Bruce would be the first to say, "Alfred, I need to get back out there." Yeah, he would be. That's what I'm saying. He would be. He would be. He would be He would be sticking at home. I wish I could go outside and fight crime. It's not. He doesn't fight crime because it's fun. He does because he's morally obligated to. At least the more current iteration of Batman. He wants to go out there and fight crime so that whatever happened to his parents wouldn't happen to anyone else. Okay, he's just over there having a good old time partying, fighting bad guys. It's something he does out of a moral obligation. He wants to help out people who can't help themselves. So that's why I was wondering, has DC ever read a Batman comic? 'Cause I don't think they have. If this is their take on Batman, Batman would.
That's giving him way too much credit.
Because I'm pretty sure that Batman has never encountered a hostile environment before. Yeah, totally not. And masks that will help him with the pandemic. He have giant robot suits, tanks, Batmobiles, and bat planes and stuff. He has grappling hooks and thermal vision and all that stuff, but he doesn't have a mask that can protect him against the pandemic. Okay. Where's all this money gone? Pretty sure he has one of those. Pretty sure he has one of those, DC. He's not going out to actually socialize. He's not going to parties and soirees with like the Riddler or whatever. He's stopping crime. Because I'm pretty sure the bad guys that Batman often goes out to try to stop, they won't really be obeying the laws either. I'm pretty sure they don't care if some Karen comes out and says, "Hey, you can't be on the beach." I'm pretty sure they don't care what these other people have in mind or what they're thinking about. But by the way, the whole Dr. Alpha taking hostages to get the rights to Star Wars is an actual thing that happened. Let me pull it up.
Did it work?
Who knows?
The question.
Who knows? It's to be determined. Let's get this up here. There we go. So, Dr. Alpha has captured 3 superheroines in his base. He goes, "Hello, Justice Warrior Alliance. I know these heroic harlots belong to you, but worry not. If you want them back, you will surrender all rights to the Star Wars franchise immediately. Oh, and you better be fast on that draw. Joe is getting hungry." And then Not 13th Doctor says, "Bloody hell." And then Not Ray says, "I'd like to go home."
Oh, no, you gotta say it. Bloody hell.
Bloody hell. And then Not Ray says, "I'd like to go home, please." And then Not Captain Marvel says, "I'm killing your whole family for this."
So she's basically one of the boys, one of the 7 from the Boys comic.
No, she's essentially Captain Marvel from Captain Marvel, only just more attractive.
She's regular Captain Marvel. She's the same personality as Captain Marvel in the movie.
What, you touching my fucking paper, I'm gonna fucking ruin your hands. She's really invested in that paper.
So that actually was something that happened. So Alan Jones he's not fake news. He's real news. That was that part. Who knows how that ended up? As I think people reported on. Let's see here. What else do we have? Let's see. Go down the line here. Oh, by the way, speaking of artists, now that we're on the topic of artists and stuff, there are some woke artists out there who just have to ruin everything, ruin everyone's fun. Yeah. So there was recently, I don't know if you heard about this, there was recently redraw Sailor Moon thing.
Okay.
That was fun. Yeah.
And
Oh, I love the Asian that one specifically, and then with the dark hair, I thought was like the best realistic interpretation of Sailor Moon I've ever seen. So I love that it's on here.
And they politicized it.
You fucking kidding me? Like it's all one for one. The skin color is the fucking same.
So
In fact, that's darker.
They ruined
Like-
the weirdo artists came out of the woodwork. You know, the artists who make ugly art and they say that
right.
that what's their organs and stuff like that, and we need to make things more inclusive about stuff. As they came out and said, we need to politicize this. So they came
In
out
fact,
and
it's probably less whitewashing because she actually has Asian eyes in the
Asian
drawing.
eye. What do you mean by that? What? You saying
For
that
fuck's
Asian
sake.
people have different eyes?
No, it's the fucking eye shape, you twit.
Wait, you saying that Asian
No,
people have different eye
you're
shape?
fucking doing a bit.
Well, they're doing a bit
But
too.
in the
But
actual
they believe it. I don't believe it. That's the difference.
in the actual original anime, that's probably it's more of an ambiguous race because you can't tell from the eyes.
Exactly. But nobody. What race are they? Oh, they're anime. They're not even human. Like, where are the organs? Well, they're not human. It doesn't matter.
I think the race is waifu.
Yeah, the race is waifu.
the great waifu race, the waifu master race.
Listen, Sean King, you can't be trans waifu. Okay, you're white. You're not anime.
That's why they all prefer this far superior 2D girls, obviously, with 3D.
Oh, that's so funny. So there's gonna be some like a BuzzFeed video or something where it's like, we confronted people over their 2D versus 3D preferences. So why do you like 2D women more than 3D women? I don't know, I just like them. You're racist. Like every video on YouTube.
Not even sexist, just racist.
Yeah, exactly.
2D girls are a different race. See, Dr. Crow, thanks for $9.99. They think that as in have actually yellow skin. Yeah, that's actually probably true. Actually,
Yeah, what can you do? Life stakes.
let's see what yellow.
Life is full of retards, and this is one of them.
Just one of them. There's plenty of them out there, but this
Yeah,
is
it's so like why is it that all woke people seem like they're so stupid? Why is it that they're so stupid? It's
because
so
they are.
Oh,
That's the secret.
That's a secret.
Since they're all really hypocrites in a lot of ways. They don't care or about their agenda. It's just performative. But it's like it kind of hurts people who are actually like trying to like affect social change because it just makes social change look bad.
Let's see here. Let's see. One second here. Okay, so Nomo Commando says anime is the best race. Anime is the best race, obviously.
anime supremacists unite.
Lucky Jinx, some were redrawings were good, some were just gross. Yeah, there were some really gross ones, like the Tumblr artists got involved. And they made some disgusting looking ones.
Wait. You're telling me that there's weird fetish artists on Twitter?
Yeah, they all
That's
moved
so
over here.
weird. I thought Twitter was like all professional people.
You would think so, but didn't turn out that way.
Turns out to be a bunch of people that are whitewashing Asian washing white in anime. How do I be outraged at this, Literature Devil? What am I supposed to just teach me? I know that I have outrage somewhere. I have to be mad that something fun is happening.
I think you have to go watch Jack's.
Is one of the most
Jack Saint. Oh,
calmest
I
devils
love
ever.
Jack's. See, the key to Jack Saint is just believe whatever he says, and if you don't know any better, then it all makes sense, man. I'm telling you, try it.
Yeah, just pretend what he says makes sense, and you'll be good to go. Alex Halo, thank you much for 2. Appreciate that. Even the female otakus like their 2D more than 3D. So it's not just 2D girls; it's 3D guys. It's 2D guys also.
Yes.
The master race.
May 23rd.
You know how like the everyone goes off the feminists go after this sexualization of comic book women, but have they ever like seen a single comic of like Nightwing?
I don't think feminists have actually seen women, let alone a comic book.
But like I've read a couple of Nightwing comics, and oh my god, do they focus on his ass, and you can tell it's drawn by like a woman, and that's totally fine because I do love like Nightwing, but there are so many shots of his ass really close up, really tight and perk, and his abs and his chest.
It's like
they spend a little bit too much time on the details in these frames.
I think they actually did that in a magazine where they derided men for liking women, and then they went ahead and said, yeah, they went ahead and like did a list of like the 10 hottest men, and said, yeah, we know we're hypocrites, we don't care, so take that, because no one cares about us being hypocrites. That's basically what they said. That they basically know that they're being hypocrites, but nobody is holding them accountable for it, so they don't care and spitting and you're laughing in your face that you as a man are being held accountable for this, but. When women do it, they know that they won't be, so they laugh in your face about it. See, Market 3D.
Fuck
No,
yeah.
please don't bring up Jack Saint. The mere mention of his name can make rapid brain cell loss. Yeah, pretty much. He thinks Patricia Taxon is a good video maker. So there you go. and not a person who insanely rambles on things. Let's see here. So this is. If they're whitewashing anime characters, then the Japanese did it first. They did it first.
Screw you, Batman!
Yeah.
I'm undefeatable now.
Exactly.
Actually kind of nice out, so I hope you're having a good day. Anyway, a few days ago, this was trending over on Twitter. It was hashtag Sailor Moon Redraw Challenge. So people were just having fun, redesigning the character, having a good time. Really, it's all fun. Okay, people had some really good stuff. Right here, we got like this one. I think that looks pretty good. Got this one right here saying that it's punishment time. And we got one right here. Please accept my offering. This one looks fantastic, actually. Very well done.
Here's some good ones.
Doing a little bit of a Star Wars parody on Sailor Moon right here. Thought I'd hop on the challenge and put my own.
I think actually Sailor Moon would actually kind of fit in Star Wars because it's both universal and space oriented.
It would, but it kind of just looks more Indian.
Yeah, a little bit. Let's see.
Own spin on it. This one looks pretty good, actually. As a Star Wars fan, I appreciate this one. I think that's what she was trying to go with there. I could be wrong, but she looks like Princess Leia. All right, then we got here. Got like a old 8-bit looking one. That one looks pretty good. Then we go down here. This is one of my favorites.
Is that Hank Hill?
No. By the power of the moon, I'm gonna kick your ass.
There you go. That is Hank Hill. That's pretty good. There you go. Yeah, we need a Sailor Moon Hank Hill version immediately.
We need every gun to fire on
There was multiple of those, by the way.
What, the Hank Hill ones?
Yeah.
That's awesome. We need an actual full-on production of Hank Hill as Sailor Moon. Or just redo Sailor Moon, but give her Hank Hill's personality and voice. I see Barry Bend. The SJWs complained about Alita being white. One, she's from Mars, and two, she's described as space Snow White in appearance. Yeah, they don't like that. They don't like it when you have a character who has white skin. They still like
they're racist against Martians, man. They don't like those orange people from the Martian. That's
the orange race.
It's all the stereotypes about Martian people being warlike. I know. I get it.
Well, they are.
You're just jealous that they grow up in low gravity so they can like jump around.
Exactly.
I know what you science fiction racists.
What do y'all think of the movie John Carter versus John Carter the book?
I didn't mind it, but I wasn't impressed by it. It's one of those things where it missed the aesthetic so hard that it was bad.
Okay.
American Isekai. I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, basically American. The original Isekai. 100-year-old Isekai.
I watched the movie, then I read the book. Maybe it's just because I'm weird, but I hate epistocal writing styles. It's really annoying. It just bugs me in kind of the same way that kind of first person bugs a lot of people.
What kind of writing did you say?
Episcopal? Episcopal.
What do you mean by that? I don't know what you mean by that.
It's kind of it's relating to the word epistle, meaning letter. Like it's a journal writing. Like the original Dracula is written in that style, where it's a series of journal entries,
Gotcha.
and stuff like that. John Carter is written like it's a journal that you find.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I listened to the book and I was just like, wow, this kind of brushes over what could be an epic fight. And maybe it's possibly because like I listen to a lot of people like Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson, who like are very visually descriptive. But the thing with the original John Carter book is that it doesn't necessarily, because of its medium and because of its time period, it doesn't really go into like a lot of detail regarding like actions, and it kind of just brushes over like times of tension in terms of action, because they didn't really know how to describe action very well back in the day.
Let's see. It's a theme racing, which is too. Glib, that impression was scary. Very well done. Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. Awesome. We need some more Hank Hill.
Did got the Hank Hill Sailor Moon, kind of funny.
Sailor,
And then this one
Sailor
dropped
Propane.
This one was pretty funny. So naturally, this is intending to make her look Japanese. She was already Japanese. This is just a style. That's how they do anime and manga over there. But of course, you know, he's like, I'm going to do this one. I think this is fine on its own. And of course, naturally, this sparked a conversation.
A conversation.
You unfortunately can't see my air quotes.
Anybody out there who wants to look at big, bulky 2D pictures of guys in that style, that's what Silver Joe is like known for. So it was funny that he went and did, or I don't know, he or she, whoever it is, did a masculine like to feminine thing. And the realism of it, I think, is what bothers people about it. Because I think it looks so, out of all of the ones that I saw that were going for realism, that's the most realistic one. So it makes sense that they're going after this one. And what's so fascinating to me is that something makes me think that it's not the art, it's not the artist, it's that people are either insecure about features, or they're like upset that someone like might take a look, and that would take away from someone's identity based on like ethnicity or something. Like if somebody wears the Sailor Moon outfit and they're black, like nobody's going to say anything because of black, but somebody's going to think that. You know that.
What I saw was that they got really upset. They like they're demanding that all Japanese women have black hair. Like no Japanese woman can ever dare have any other color of hair than black hair. Otherwise, it's racist or something.
Well, they made one with black hair. Did you see that? Yeah, it looks good. I think it looks better, but it's not the character.
Yeah,
so
it's the character.
Like, what am I supposed to say here? Like the idea of anime characters being Japanese or Japanese style, but having like blonde and blue eyes, like who is not allowed to do that? You know what I mean? Like in their little worldview, who's in the wrong? Is it the Japanese artists for doing it that way? Is it white people again in general, and as it always is? Like, why does it have to be a problem? I don't understand why the people that are all about intersectionality, that are all about ethnicities and all this representation stuff, and stuff that I just always took as a given, like present your culture, do whatever you want, your dress, all that kind of stuff. You can't share that. You can't experience it. If I wear a Mandarin collar, am I like appropriating Chinese culture because I like that more than the English culture? You know what I mean? How are you supposed to assimilate into any culture or share things if you can't share them? You know, it seems counterproductive to me.
Yeah, and here's the thing: these SJW weirdo NPC types, they're always like that. They always say they're inclusive in everything, and they always say, you know, let people live how they want to live, and then they just perpetuate stereotypes. That's
oh my God, it's so true. They do that all the time. They're like, oh my God, you're black and you like Trump. You're an Uncle Tom Coon. Like, what the hell? Like,
to them,
damn, dude.
To them, the stereotypes are the only truth.
It's ridiculous,
everything
dude.
else is a lie. And that's racism. On some, like, we used to be racist to consider like stereotypes, but so to them, to these weirdo NPC types, the stereotype is everything.
It's the mindset that goes like, all right, Hillary, you need to put hot sauce in your pocket because in the South they carry around hot sauce.
Everyone just carries around hot sauce. And I think in their minds, all minorities live in ghettos, and they're all uneducated, and all that stuff. So it's all, and I'm betting like they think all like Hispanic people like just all wear sombreros all day and ponchos in America.
Yeah, no, that's what I do.
And serapes and stuff. So
Hell yeah.
these people are. That's what they think. Like this is how these people are. Is how minority X is. How minority Y is, and anything different is racism. Yeah, you can't have a Japanese girl with blonde hair, or else that's whitewashing. It's racist.
Wash my whiteness off. Let's do this.
It's like
Brainwash me.
Some
Come
girl
on.
on the internet says, "Hey, fun fact: Sailor Moon is not Japanese. She's not even human. She's an alien from the moon and part of the race known as Lunarians."
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's what I was. It's science fiction racism.
And the same people are so quick to say, "Well, Last Jedi is science fiction, so why are you complaining about canon?" Well, Sailor Moon is she's science fiction. Why are you complaining about her not looking Japanese? Because she's not Japanese. She's from the moon. Unless you're saying Japanese people from the moon. I don't think so.
I'm doing with my fingers right now. But of course, naturally, as you can predict, a bunch of the crazy NPC people jumped right in, furious and praising it in some cases. The reason they were furious about it is they claim that, why is everybody whitewashing the character? Because of stuff like this, or this one, or this one, or this one. I guess even maybe this one. This is the only guy who did a redraw like this. And I'll say he did a pretty good job. I like the design. The art's good. I really don't see a problem with it. And I would have just moved on. I would have just moved on and been done. But
there's obviously a huge amount of effort that has gone into this art. And I honestly just can't commend this guy enough for how brilliant he's drawn it. Like,
it looks really good.
It's
so much effort that's been in there. Yeah.
The shading in it and the way that he, like, the multi layers, the coloring is good, the inking is good, the pencil work is good, the proportions are good. Like the thing that is just standing out is that he did a ethnic thing. Like, oh my gosh, guys, have you noticed that anime characters have really big eyes? And then when you make them realistic, they don't have big eyes anymore. Whoa, how did that work?
Like people in real life don't actually have enormous dinner plate eyes.
No, yeah.
It's almost a stylistic choice almost.
Yeah. Where did your nose go? Well, I'm 2D now.
Makes
Deal with it.
Why do Simpsons characters have 4 fingers? This is not realistic. Why are you whitewashing Simpsons characters? They're yellow, you idiot. Come on, man.
Obviously, they're all yellow.
Fuck.
But of course, it's never enough. So we got this one. He redid it. And you're going to see people jump in and say stupid things like this. So many people whitewash her in this challenge. Thank you. This.
You know how we all do that same voice for these people? So many people whitewash her in this challenge. Thank you. This is beautiful.
Oh my god, so many people like whitewash her. Like you have to just add on the vocal
arrogant, arrogant, so full of themselves. We all do the same voice. Like everyone who makes fun of these people, all do the same exact voice.
It's like
when you were trying to do the robot voice. I remember I was like saying, no, you need to go a bit too much.
Right? And then you have to do the all, and then you also can do like the vocal fry if you want to, and end your sentences that are statements as questions. It's like. So many people?
So many people want whitewash her in this challenge. Thank you. This is beautiful, or whatever.
And then also like the other one is the really silent, the quiet. Like so many people whitewash her in this challenge. Thank you. This is beautiful. That's like the John McIntosh style where he's slowly like he's like Grima worm tonguing his like words into your brain so that he can take you over.
Trying to
emphasize like an alien.
The problem is
emphasize meekness, that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I would much rather have Brad Durst's voice as Worm Tongue than Jonathan McIntosh's squeaky beta cuck voice.
Yeah, it's awful.
Like, I'm afraid he died sometime in the night. Like a pale pale morning of spring, still clinging to winter's chill. Oh, just so good. So good. Such a good actor.
This is a
So-
beautiful.
What do you say?
I just don't know why you have to earthwash this Lunarian. Like, gosh.
Earth Watcher. These silly animators keep earth washing all these alien characters. It's racist.
So stupid.
That's what I spent. Not to be racist, but it's weird how anime characters often don't actually look Japanese. This portrayal of her makes me think of Riho Metal. Got this guy says, "Thank you for this. This is actually more racially accurate than the actual show."
But the
I
show
love that you drew her as
by the what the fuck is
And just
what?
because they're made by Japanese people doesn't mean the character is Japanese.
Exactly. If the Japanese people making it wanted to make the character look like them, then they
She's
would.
from the moon. Okay, she's
Okay,
not
so
Japanese.
She's from the moon. Haven't you
Japanese
read the
are-
original book?
what I can take this. The Japanese are apparently whitewashing in their own shows that are made for the Japanese audience,
Yes.
and they're trying to accuse the Japanese animators of racism. Kind of like how you know. Do you remember like I think it's Akizian who accused what was it, the Nintendo, a Japanese company, being in Zelda being racist against Asians or something?
I'm pretty sure she said that. Yeah, they're proving that once and for all she's not actually a gamer.
That's like saying, oh, okay, so a game that's made here, so a Japanese person comes along and he says, "Hey, look, you know that Star Wars thing's racist against white people, right?" It's like, what the fuck you on about?
I thought that racist against white people didn't exist. At least in
No,
the
this is theoretical.
well, I would say that like the parents in Transformers 1 through 3 are kind of racist against white people. Because Michael Bay hates everybody. He hates everybody, and honestly, I would prefer him doing.
And I'm back.
I would prefer Michael Bay doing. This might be a hot take, but I would prefer Michael Bay doing a Star Wars movie over Rian Johnson. Even though they both kind of hate their audiences, I would still. It would at least be more entertaining. And it would make so many of these people so angry.
At least Michael
Probably.
Bay will actually put fucking explosions and shit in his films.
And all of his flaws we've covered by explosions.
Yeah.
So many explosions we won't even like notice all the inconsistencies. He won't try to be big brained about it because he's not a big brain kind of guy. He'll just be normal about it. It's like, okay, just what's cool here? Okay, what will the fans like? What will the audience like? I'll just do that. What will the general audience like? I'll just do that. Sounds good to me.
Still kind of has like kind of a contempt for all things geek, really, and prefers doing more live action stuff like Pain and Gain, the Benghazi movie, what is it? What is that called? It's just the secret story of Benghazi or something. Soldiers of Benghazi.
I know 33 hours. I know that one.
Might have been that. Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking of kind of the subtitle or whatever.
Who's playing a game right now? I can hear it. I've been hearing it for a while. I don't know what it is.
What?
I've got a feeling it's Glib. I've got a feeling it's Glib because he always plays games during these.
Oh, you can probably hear it through my headphones. That's what it is. My bad.
Archmage, that was a quick refill. Yeah, it was. It was a quick refill. A quick top off of internet gas.
It was so quick. You didn't even realize you left.
Yeah. Getting better at this stuff.
It's actually Japanese. Too many people make realistic renditions of anime characters and they make them look even more Western, even though the characters are Japanese. This is the best version, Silver Draw. Silver.
I like this example because you can tell these people are the same exact people who complain about Star Wars, same exact people who complain about Star Trek, same exact people who complain about Doctor Who. Same people complain about anime. They're not actually fans because they actually watch this anime they would know that not every character in anime is Japanese. There are actual there are American characters or Chinese characters. Like saying that because you are a white man from America, that if you create a Japanese samurai in the Edo period, then that Japanese samurai is a white man because a white man made him. It doesn't work that way. Not only is he a white man, he's a white American man during the Edo period of Japan, which was a long time ago, Chad. A long time ago.
A
Before
galaxy far, far away.
it was a galaxy far, far away. So that's not how this works. Because you are Japanese and create a character does not mean that character is Japanese, and you don't have to be this. Believe it or not, NBC weirdos, you don't actually have to be Japanese to live in Japan. You can actually be of another ethnicity and live in Japan also. And that's what Sailor Moon is. She's another ethnicity. She's from the moon. She just so happens to live in Japan. Okay? You don't have to live in Japan. You don't have to be Japanese to live in Japan. And just because a Japanese creator makes a character, does that mean that that character is then therefore Japanese? But that's all they see. They only see race. And obviously, they're not fans of the show. They're not fans of probably even the medium. They're just there to complain. They're there to celebrate and clap whenever someone tries to infringe on the actual canon to adhere to their weirdo politics.
Silver Jaw, because Sailor Moon is an anime character, and anime has Japanese origin. She should look Japanese or Asian.
Okay,
What?
they're talking about fictional characters. Fictional characters. Am I getting through to you at all?
I need that clip now.
Yeah, that's actually.
What?
I actually thought for a second that was your clip.
No, that was Yellow Flash. I need to get that one though.
It's retarded.
I think that's a very.
What?
Yeah, because the anime is Japanese in origin, they need to look Japanese.
I think
But what the fuck are they on about?
What about Star Wars? Because Star Wars was made by a white man. It was made by a white American. It was a white American origin. They need to not look white male anymore. Okay. But it was Japanese in origin. They gotta look Japanese. Okay.
I think that we need to come up with a new word other than retarded because it seems like retarded is a compliment at this point.
Wanker.
Wanker. Yeah. Well, they probably literally are wankers since they don't get any poontang at all.
I'm marking 3D, but LD, you're a white guy with a bit of a tan. You can't have opinions like that.
He's a devil. He's not a white guy.
Literature Devil has all of the options.
All the tan.
He has all the options because all the girls want that sweet, sweet voice.
Oh, obviously. Let me see here.
It's like melted ambrosia. It's not melted chocolate. It's melted ambrosia.
Yeah. Well,
Mary
that's the first.
needs to go after you. Mary Mayhem needs to go after you, buddy.
Oh, that'd be dangerous. Let's see. KH in which is 5. So she is 14 in 1992. So she should be legal now in 2020, right? Yeah, that's how it works, isn't it? Welcome to the chat, KH. Thank you much for that. Let's see.
Look, I'm not really a big Sailor Moon fan, but the series has a humongous fan base. It's extremely popular. I don't know how high up on the chain I would put it, but it's a pretty well-known anime. It's so popular that people that aren't even fans of anime like it. Kind of the same with Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is kind of stepped out of, if you're a fan of anime or not. Like, a lot of normies like that series. And I think it's safe to say with Sailor Moon as well. So a lot of people that aren't fans of stuff are going to jump in. And I don't see a problem with, I don't really see the big deal.
And Savannah Dragon, she's 42 now. So she's not underage, you NPC weirdos. She's not underage anymore. She's old enough to be most of your mothers. Okay. Your multiple mothers.
She's a MILF now.
Yeah.
Drawing her like this or like this or this or this, I think this is fine. This was a big conversation actually, because this was a trending thing. Sailor Moon redraw challenge trended for a while. And, I like to call NPCs the fun police because that's what they do. That's one of the reasons this trended is because, tons of people know about Sailor Moon. Normies know about Sailor Moon. So, naturally, anyone with any kind of talent came in here, and if they were a fan, they were redrawing the character. It really just irritates me that this is the version that really gets the trend going, and this is what it turned into. They came in there, they wanted to fun police all over it and ruin it for everybody because it had to become, it of course, had to become a conversation about racism and whitewashing, which is really annoying. You can't have fun. You're not allowed to have fun, even on Twitter. Twitter, oh God, no, you can't have fun. How dare you have fun? You want to draw her however you want to draw her. You got to draw her like this. This is the only way you're allowed to draw her, naturally. But you are allowed to draw her like this. This is okay as well. And I don't think there's anything wrong with this. But of course, it became a conversation on why it's so.
It's kind of like Street Fighter art. Have you ever seen the Street Fighter cartoon? That's kind of like what it looks like right there.
I'm cool with that. I like that look too.
Yeah, it looks like a different person. It's not like the same character at all, but it still looks good.
Yep.
It's at least appealing.
Like it's not Sailor Moon, but it's someone. It sure is a character in a schoolgirl outfit.
Sailor Manisha. Down in the block. What's up, baby? Looking good in them Japanese schoolgirl outfit. What you doing in that? Your mama know you looking like that?
My name is Aisha.
Clip canceled.
Canceled.
I'm like, who's this Holdo woman? Nobody knows this. There's no one's invested in that. Who is she?
Where is that from? I need to watch this.
It's actually I found it on Smutboy's channel.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, no, that's what I said it to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Smith wasn't the only one to do it. That was he managed to clip it.
he clipped it out. That little section, that little brilliant section of that wonderful interview. Oh, get back up here. There we go.
Okay to do this change. Okay, this change is okay as well. This is the preferred change right here. But if you want to do any other type of change, you're allowed to do it like this because it's, of course, enriching the POC. And I got to tell you, most normal people of any ethnicity could care less. She did this for fun. I don't have a problem with it. Most normal people don't have a problem with it either. And I also want to point out that the woman who drew the character like this didn't put anything in there. She just said, thought I'd participate. And she did the redraw challenge. Okay, she's just having fun. But because of the way she drew the character, of course, people come in and get political on her post. And that's annoying. She just want to have fun and people
see, this is what we mean. Actually, this is a pretty good distinction, example of what we mean by keep your politics out of stuff. Keep your politics out of our movies, our TV shows, all that stuff. That what we really mean is politicizing. So this is fine. Like we don't really care. That's fine if you can. If you want to draw Sailor Moon that way, that's okay. It's not going to make anyone upset. But when you come in and say and you politicize it, say yeah, we just take that, whitewashers. Then you politicize it, and then you start making people angry. That's when people start coming in because you're kind of using it as a bludgeon to strike at your enemies. And when you strike at your enemies, they notice and they kind of want to strike back at you. Otherwise, they wouldn't care. See, KH, which is fine. Appreciate that. Let me preach what my friend said. She is fictional, same as your NPC/SJW's life in Twitter, which is built up of fake stuff. This not holding back the punches there on that one, KH. Very good, very good, very true too. Insulting the race. That's the voice actor for Admiral Akbar. I don't recall which.
Yeah, of course.
From. Yeah.
Oh, it's from the interview he was doing. He was being interviewed at Star Wars Celebration, and it was right after the Last Jedi.
And start arguing about the merits of it. Why can't people just have fun? I think it's so stupid that people just aren't allowed to have fun in a situation like this. And now here's what's even funnier. Okay, so the guy who did the challenge where he drew her like this, he comes in and he blasts these people because they took what he did out of its purpose because he did the same thing that she did. He just wanted to draw the character how he wanted to draw it. And what's funny about that is he says, "I wish that I wouldn't have even done the design now. They ruined it for him." So people that were coming in there praising him, but
that always
that's what they do.
happens.
See,
That's why
even
we gotta. That's why we fight them because they just ruin everything. They can't have fun. They can't enjoy stuff. They take everything way too seriously.
Exactly.
It's just pain in the ass, man.
I know it seems silly to cry about Captain Marvel or Star Wars or The Last Jedi. You can't stop until they change what they're doing, until they wake up and realize that they're destroying people. They're taking away our balls.
Exactly. So they come in and they even ruin it for the person that they're praising. Like the person who's receiving praise feels weirded out and kind of dirty for receiving this praise because it's not praise, not praise that's being lauded onto them because they actually like the work. It's they know, you kind of feel that you're getting praise so that someone else will be insulted. Like you are kind of not really all that important in this equation. You just happen to be the guy who they're using as a political bludgeon against the people they hate, and always feels filthy. It feels filthy, and that's why this guy doesn't like it. Like, yeah, it's praise, but it's really dirty praise. That's not real.
Yes.
But that's why even the guy who's doing it, even the guy who's like receiving the praise or whatever, even they don't like it. Even they're lashing back. This is disgusting. Like, this is horrible. You're horrible, horrible people, and it's not fun anymore. They're making it not fun, even though you'd think praise would be fun. But it's not fun. It just isn't.
Yep. Just like that person that was bullied. The best one that I think of is the one with the Steven Universe.
Oh yeah.
Fandom, and the girl that like drew somebody a little too thin or something like that, even though she's got like weight issues, and then said that she almost committed suicide, and then people were like, "Good, I'm glad she committed suicide," or whatever. Like she didn't actually kill herself, but they were glad that she
wanted to applaud
it. It was just insane.
They wanted to applaud her.
One from personal experience.
Oh, still alive, chat? Are we still alive?
Yeah, they were still here, I believe, aren't we?
Oh, chat.
What?
Are we back? Are we back? Just checking here.
I think so.
I didn't think we were gone. Were we?
So
I think I was personally.
One of the so like as I've said before, from personal experience, this is something which has kind of been close to happening to me, as I've already shared the story. So my ex-girlfriend, who's an absolutely brilliant artist, again, that she's the one who did the Ahsoka comic, which I shared. She drew a human Ahsoka, and she drew her white, and she didn't originally see any kind of problem with it. But then all of a sudden, she just got bullied and harassed online by people who pretty much were saying that they were whitewashing her, that Ahsoka should have been black, and it was just insane. Like, I honestly just couldn't believe it at the time. It got so bad that she was just crying because of the amount of people who were attacking her. She ended up deleting the artwork, which was fine artwork. There was nothing wrong with it. And that honestly kind of made me very pissed off towards like how certain political groups will treat artists who are just trying to express their passion.
Yeah, it's been a long-standing pattern that tyrants hate artists because artists are the ones that commentate and make fun of their weirdness.
Yeah, but she wasn't even commentating or making fun of weirdness. She just had passion to draw a character, and she drew her in a way which, well, most people have no problem with. This was like when she was posting art on Tumblr, so of course Tumblr has a sect towards a certain group of people. But to take it as far as making someone cry, that is absolutely horrible, and it very much pissed me off.
Well, artists they represent freedom of thought, freedom of expression, and that is the antithesis of what these people want. This is they want compliance. They want you to adhere to party doctrine, all that good stuff. And if you don't adhere to party doctrine, they will try to drive you to suicide. That's the one thing they always try to do. Every time they don't like you, their end goal, the end goal that they want to achieve is to drive you to suicide. and they won't
Yes.
feel bad about it. They won't feel any sort of remorse. They will celebrate. They will openly celebrate, saying "good riddance," saying that another bigot down or something like that. You know, there's some sort of catty satire
Another
mark about
bigot
how you
down.
about your death. Yeah,
they're like soldiers. They're like tango down, bigot down.
pretty much that's how they view it. Another guy, another Nazi out of the world.
Mission successful.
Like because their view, a Nazi is an artist who makes a character a little thinner than most,
Can't
or
believe
maybe
it.
give them like a blonde hair or something. Yeah.
Can you imagine beauty? Why do people want beautiful things? I mean, that's subjective, isn't it? Everything is subjective.
Yeah, like
Don't tell me that I'm too fat.
it's like how
Stop
money's
it.
arbitrary or something. See,
Everything's arbitrary.
Lucky Jinx, we should at least try it for at least a week since we all want his attention. They'll definitely melt down. Ignore that too. Let's see here. Okay, so anyway, let's check it out. Let's see what else he has to say.
I want to be clear. They weren't praising him because of how well that he did how well he did the art. And I do got to say, I think the art there is fantastic. It looks good. It's well done. I don't see a problem there. You know, most people say, "Oh, that looks good," and they'll move on. But of course, to the NPC Puritan, they come in here and they get all upset about it and praise it, and then blast all the other ones. This is the only official way you're allowed to do this. You know, because they want to put a cramp on your fun.
Yep.
So he comes in, he says, "I wish I'd never joined in the first place." Well, he says maybe he shouldn't have. He says, "I'd be lying if I said the comment section under my Sailor Moon redraw treat didn't hinder me or bother me. I am trying my best to stay positive, but I must admit I feel insulted." And I think that that's a very good way to look at this. It feels insulted. Like, why couldn't you just praise my art?
Because you're being used in this in this scenario.
Yeah.
You do some art. You know, I would just want to participate and do some art, and you get praise. But these people are attaching that praise to a political agenda. So instead of this receiving praise on how good your art is, you're receiving praise so you can be used as a political bludgeon, and that's why he doesn't feel so comfortable receiving this praise, and why it's kind of ruining his experience.
I love the tweet where he says, "I modeled it after my sister," and you're like, "Oh wow, okay." So like it's so real, it's so specific, and these people are just like, the only way that the artist can extrapolate this information is to go, "Wow, so you're gonna like talk all this crap about my sister? Like, wow, I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm not gonna make art of my sister look like Sailor Moon, and she'll probably like it, and I'll enjoy it, and the internet will like it, and our family will talk about it, and be like, oh, nice art, guys, blah, blah, blah." Nope. It's all negative. It all has to be negative. It has to be some sort of attack. It has to be some sort of chud reactionary thing. And it's just like, I you know, there's a limit to all of this in every person. So if we keep exposing people to it, maybe eventually they'll hit that point where they're like where we're at, where it's what does Ethan say? You gotta monetize them. Hitch them up to the wagons.
They hate that. They really hate that.
Yeah.
They hate when you expose them and then monetize them. They hate that with a passion. That's why they try to say, "Oh, that's why they go to a grifter. Oh, this guy's a grifter. This guy, the main one they like to do is, this guy's there stirring up drama so he can get money. This guy's a grifter." That sort of thing. Because they hate it when you monetize their idiocy. So they call you a guy who to stir up drama, and that you're just a drama guy. That's it.
I love that. I love that it's like, because it's directly in the face of, you know, I'm exploiting your labor, your pain. I'm exploiting it and turning it into cash in my pocket. Isn't that awesome? Yes, it is. Yeah. That's capitalism, baby.
That's what you should do. You should, because they want to dominate. You want to dominate every conversation. You want to dominate all the franchises. And one good way to fight back is to monetize their idiocy and their weird attempts to take over these franchises, and then build something out of that money you make. Build something new, so that while they're trying to destroy everything, you're building something off the backs of the tyranny. And that's what a better way to get back at them than to use that money that they helped you earn by being weird and tyrannical. That'd be fantastic.
Why couldn't you just have a good time? Instead, you have to come in here, you got to bring your BS. You got to ruin everyone's fun. That's all these people do, is ruin people's fun. Even this guy who they're trying to praise, but praising him for the wrong reasons. Like, look, I wish I hadn't done it now. Wish I hadn't done it. Maybe I shouldn't have joined the challenge in the first place. It says this first of all, I never claimed to make Sailor Moon look Japanese. I also didn't say all Asian are should look like that. I model her face after my own sister. If you think she's ugly because she looks too Asian, I don't know who's the racist here. We are Malaysian, born and raised in Malaysia. In some ways,
not even Japanese. They're Malaysian.
Yeah.
Way to go, racist NPC weirdos. They can't even tell a Milanese from a Japanese.
They can't play it by their own rules. That's why we got to keep doing that Alinsky shit against them. We got to, awesome. They always want to play by a certain set, and all you got to do is hold them to it while you're busy making Indiegogo campaigns. On the other hand,
I remember there was a big time during the big backlash that the Yellow Flash and that Umbrella guy, they're able to fight back against these weirdos on Twitter, because the whole thing was that they would get into a Twitter fight with you, and then you would call them by a pronoun like she or him, and then afterward they would put the opposite in their bio. So if you call them she, which is because they're she or whatever, they would go afterwards. They would put him and him as pronouns, his and her, his and him, whatever they want to call it, and then they would port your tweet to Twitter and say you got the pronouns wrong. Okay, and then you get banned. So Tug and that umbrella guy and Yellow Flash, they did the same thing, and a lot of the other comic creator guys did that too. They put their own pronouns in there, and then they fought back, and they got all these weirdos banned, but with playing by their own rules, and it ended up with all these weirdos kind of blocking them. Pretty much. So it really died down after that because they couldn't play by those rules anymore because they made the rules, and then they just turned them around, using them against them. It was fantastic.
Yeah, if you're gonna make the rules, I'm gonna make you stick by them.
Yeah, it was really great. It was a clever plan and actually worked. Like, hey, this weirdo just misgendered me, and banned. Instant ban, because that's an instant ban. It's like no mercy on that thing. You misgender someone on Twitter, you're gone.
So silly.
This guy's doing the redraw the same reason that this person is. I just find it funny. You're not allowed to have fun online. You're not allowed to participate in a challenge. You're not allowed to do a redraw of a Sailor Moon character in any way you want. If you do, that's, of course, racist. You're not allowed to do that. You have to draw it to their specific details, or you're in trouble. Anytime there's fun to be had, these weirdos run right in, and they just want to ruin everybody's good time. I don't know how people aren't sick of them. I don't know how society isn't. I'll never understand it. I bet you if I went and looked up some of the people that were complaining about this, if I were to look at how many tweets that they put out, I bet you would see hundreds of tweets a day from these people, because all they do is sit around on Twitter and whine and complain and ruin people's good times, because that's all they're good for, ruining fun. That's all they do. So just ruin people's...
That literally is all they do. That's literally is all they're good for, ruining other people's good times. They're usually like trust fund kids or spoiled middle class kids who just are still living like off of mommy's money or whatever, daddy's money, and they don't actually have to work or anything like that. They just sit around all day doing whatever they want because they're special, super special, awesome, artistic kids or whatever, and they just tweet all day. They have the time and the privilege to tweet all day, morning to night, or probably in their case like afternoon to afternoon. And see, Zayukia, based on the drawing, the Malaysian artist is most likely Chinese. 30% of Malaysians are Chinese descent, and Malays are darker in skin tone. Either way, not Japanese. So yeah, it's not even Japanese. Not even Japanese. It's Milanese. But the character is from the literal moon. So not Japanese in any sense of the word. At all. Lucky Jinx, that's a pretty good... it's a pretty good topic to bring up. Twitter also suspends you for criticizing maps too. Like if you report these people called minor attracted people, Twitter bans you for criticizing those people also. So what did I tell you? Wait, you never heard about the map thing?
Oh no.
People,
I have heard about it. I've heard about it before. Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. I mean, it's like people like to hide behind semantics and stuff, and then you just have to like talk to them for a couple of strings of logic, and then you find out that they're crazy. That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Minor attracted people. That's what they're called, I think. Minor attracted persons, whatever it is.
I love how that's the soft language, politically correct version that they're trying to push. Like they need to clean it up so it doesn't sound like what it is. That's all that corporate speak. I hate every ounce of it. I want to go back to words that are either like invented by some guy on the street in England from like 1700, or it was some conjugation from Latin, or some like doohickey term that was invented in for technicals. Like I don't want all this political corporate talk. You know what I mean?
They want to soften the blow. They want to soften the blow.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Like George Carlin. First, it was shell shock. You got the meaning right across it because it's very blunt, very in your face. And then it was post-traumatic stress disorder.
It was something else after that. It was 2 words. It like
combat fatigue or something like that.
Yeah, combat fatigue, something like that. So it's just like it actually is. People are afraid to discuss what it is, and I think that's most of the problem with our society today, is that people are like really sensitive to other people criticizing them, while also having the most critical culture of all time. You know.
Let's see. KH thinking much too. Essentially, lolicon, right? LD. Yeah, that's essentially what the map is, I think.
No, that's worse. Maps are worse. A map is just straight up
way worse.
Pedo. Yeah.
Then umbrella guy says the P to the E to the D to the O. Okay, so we're done with that one. So I have one more thing to go over, and then we have a video to watch. If you would like to stay for that one, I think you'll enjoy it.
Hopefully, it's a little bit more upbeat. Less
a little bit.
heavy.
But check this out. They're actually making a new movie. And they're trying to once again the Hollywood elitists are coming out with a new movie to remake a movie that was led by men. They're not going to be led by women.
Is this actually going to happen, or is this just like
I don't actually know. I think we're supposed to be upset about it, though, because if we're upset about it, because if we're upset about it, then make it. You know that.
The more upset I am about things in culture, the less I pay attention to how like boring my life is. So it's good. Keep me outrageous.
This is awful.
The more I blame for people for my life decisions and problems, the less I had to focus on the fact that I led myself here with my own decisions.
Exactly.
So please, Hollywood, totally do not make this. This is a horrible idea. Don't make this movie. We need to be dumb fanboys about this. So don't make the course correction. Okay.
Course correction to appeal to big dumb fanboys.
Big dums.
This is a total outrage. We hate women or whatever it is, or whatever, you know, the usual list. It's all true, whatever. So don't make this. Okay, this is stepping on man's toes or something. You're stepping on the toes of men. Do not do this. It's a big insult. I don't know about you, but I think we should protest this movie openly. So we definitely do not want them to make this movie. Definitely do not want them to make this movie.
I desperately want them to make this movie, and I want it to be for the male gaze. I just want it to be complete, all nude, all the time, sapphic erotica, PG-13.
Alex, say that thing
first. If you're gonna go if you want to go full sapphic, go PG-13.
Yeah, exactly.
Go PG-13. Why go that far? Why not go all the way to R?
I thought you were progressive, huh? I thought you were super progressive. Why aren't we just legalizing everything all the time, huh? Gosh.
I say
why can I own a rocket launcher that shoots other rocket launchers? Why can't I have any gun I want? Why can't I own a nuke? Why can't I own a nuke in my own backyard? It's my constitutional right to bear arms.
Why can't I clone a bunch of cat girls and then make them wear themed outfits in my biker gang? Huh? What is this? I thought this was America.
I can have a cat girl army for self-defense. Why can't I just do that?
Yeah, exactly. This is supposed to be constitutional rights. I don't understand.
I'm sorry. I thought it was America.
This is America.
Alex, thank you much too. I've seen the map complain about 2D lolly art. Yeah, they're into 3D stuff, which is actually illegal. Tyler Preston, thank you too. Explains why Vickyverse hates Tug so much. Oh, yeah, that crazy lady. Crazy dog lady. She's not a crazy cat lady. She's a crazy dog lady. And old. From what I've heard.
Either way, I honestly not going to see and care about whatever this film is going to be. So
you don't care about Margot Robbie and Emma Watson doing a female-led Brokeback Mountain remake?
I don't
I think
care.
Emma would be the weak part of that. I don't think she's good at acting.
I think
what they should do is all the screen tests and all of the rehearsals should be done in my basement. And
in my personal basement.
Classic Hollywood prank. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Let's see. Well, that's that one. So onward to the video. Might take us a little while to cover it, so we'll see what happens.
What are we covering? Patrick Willems?
No, new person. Is the term Mary Sue sexist? We'll find out.
No. No, it is not sexist. Those people can shove it right where the sun shine. Thank you very much.
Well, how about up their arse?
Up their rancid behinds.
Arse.
What is a Mary Sue, and why don't you like them? You are such a chud.
Okay, then let's get into this pile of retardation.
Here's the thing. I really hate the term Mary Sue.
Yeah. Listen. Okay, for seriousness right now, the problem that I have with this is that it's so one-dimensional. Obviously, they don't want to have characters that start out weak and then gain in strength and do all this work and stuff. And what I have a problem with is I wonder what their inner monologue, their inner universe is like. What kind of mentality in person is the kind that attaches to Mary Sue's? Like, I have trouble sometimes associating with Superman because he just is so much cooler, more powerful. He's more handsome. He's got bigger muscles than me. All this stuff. Probably smarter than me with his genius Mary Sue intellect. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. That's hyperbole. But the point is that it's easier to relate to characters that are similar to you. So how, as a Mary Sue, is that relatable to you? That's what bothers me. I can't relate at all to a Mary Sue because I don't have that life. I have to work at stuff.
It's kind of how they want to be. It's
because the film wasn't made for you. Obviously.
Who's it made for?
You can connect this back to that the hot take we covered a little bit earlier with the Empire Strikes Back, where he says, everyone, all the characters in that movie suck. They're just actual characters, actually well fleshed out characters.
They just suck.
It's sort of they all need to be like Rey, I guess. It's automatically awesome right from the get go, with no need for training or need for character development. It's be awesome. It's big characters who are awesome 100% of the time.
It's so weird, man. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I would kind of characterize somebody. Yeah, like let me think. Who are some Mary Sues in the books I've read? Kind of Jorg Ancraft in Prince of Thorns, but the problem with that is Jorg Ancraft is not a good person. Jorg Ancraft is a horrible, horrible sociopathic 14-year-old kid, and the book pays attention to the fact that he is a sociopathic 14-year-old murderer and rapist.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a very weird and interesting book. It's kind of I saw a review of it. It's just like, what if Ramsay Bolton was your protagonist, only kind of worse? And I'm like, he can't be that bad. First 5 minutes of the audiobook, I understand what you were talking about.
You understand, finally, now at the end.
Oh, no, it was like first 5 minutes of the audiobook. It was like...
Oh, you understand immediately, I mean.
Yes, I understood immediately. This is a horrible kid.
There's no escape. It's right there in front of you.
I don't know why, but this beginning of this video makes me think of this clip.
You want to pump out more soy boys that look like Will Wheaton? This is the inevitable result of all of this. This is where we're going. This is why we fight so hard.
I don't know what it is. I just thought about that clip.
I love that.
Direct to-do list. They want to see a real Mary Sue. Read Reaper's Creek.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I understood that reference.
Oh,
Holy
like
shit.
a comic book or something?
I can't believe someone mentioned that. That is one of Onision's books.
Okay.
I think that's
understand
his
now.
second book.
That makes sense. Say no
Yeah,
more.
it's that's so funny. Okay, so I'm glad that somebody brought that up because that puts into my mind the idea of a narcissist that's writing an autobiography, but writing the fantasy version of past events in the autobiography, thus changing their own egotistical self-perception of themselves. So maybe people that are into like the Raylo Mary Sue thing, they view themselves as the protagonist on the same level as like a Ray or something. You know, if you're understanding what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's how Onision looks at himself. That the epitome of humanity.
Yes, and by the way, it is funny. I saw a Japanese translation thing there. I think there is a way to extrapolate onion from Onision in Japanese, which is hilarious to me.
It's what they call him, Onion Boy.
Onion Boy, get off the internet, man.
Let's see here.
You're so wrapped up in layers, Onion Boy, you can't even tell your own feelings.
Oh, Bancho. Thanks for the laughs on my birthday, guys. Oh, happy birthday, Bancho. Happy birthday.
Glad you can find some kind of laughter and happiness from the stream. Because the stream's taking my happiness and laughter.
The laughs have not yet begun.
You have to shift into comedian mode. You have to find the little morsels of comedy so that Bancho can have a good birthday. That's
outraged, pissed off mode, and that way I can find some hilarity out of this.
Shiny, we're at a birthday party right now, okay? You got to cheer up because it's Bancho's birthday party, everybody.
Okay.
I hope. What kind of cake did you get, Bancho?
What are these cakes?
An overpowered bitch.
I like cakes are not allowed in SJW culture because she got them cakes. You know,
they're racist. They're homophobic. Cakes are homophobic. That's the thing. Chekhov's antlers. Happy birthday, Bancho. Yes, happy birthday. Awesome. So, shall we dive into this? What looks to be a very educational video.
Education.
Education being a very, very loose term.
Let's chicken out, shall we?
Captain Marvel, the movie that sent 1,000 fanboys into an incandescent
5 seconds in. The stupid fanboys.
Automatically on site. Fanboys, get out of here. I'm wearing a Wonder Woman shirt. I'm talking about Marvel. Fanboys, you're not allowed.
Leave.
Course correction to appeal to big dumb fanboys.
I just want to think with people and just beating fanboys over. It's like saying it's such a bad thing to be a fanatic of something.
I know it's sad, man. They really ruin all the fun.
You have a passion for something? How could you have a passion for something?
Yeah, what are you gay? What are you, homophobic?
Some kind of like fans are always outraged. Fans, they're just the worst.
Why?
They're the worst in every single way. How dare they have passion for something they care about?
I know we're only 5 seconds in, but I'm going to go ahead and get I'm getting kind of a feeling that we're going to go into we just hate women vibe here.
Of course. We're just bad people. No matter where I go, I walk in the door and I go, "Hey everybody," and they go, "Oh my god. What a cis white male! You're so privileged. I can't believe you. You need to be more of an ally." And I'm like, "Okay,
you didn't like Ray?
Is anyone else getting
like Captain Marvel
protection and Jack Saint vibes from this person already?
This is Patricia Jackson.
Honestly, my reaction to Captain Marvel was honestly just that was a movie, and then after I watched Mahler's video, I was like, "Oh wow, this was terrible." Partially it was because I saw it with my little sister who had a good time with it.
Well, I can have a defense here because they say you don't like Ray, you don't like Captain Marvel, you're a bad person. Like I'm the literature devil.
Yeah,
checkmate.
Like good or bad. I mean, like I'm not here to moralize, my friend. I'm just here to commentate and speak facts. That's all. If you don't like my opinion, you don't have to agree with me.
Facts are hateful, though. Hate facts. It's about hate facts all over the place.
That's the thing is, I think like They hate your intonation. They hate where you're coming from and what you're saying, and it's frustrating because we all want to exist like reasonable people in a world where you can say something, you can make comedy, you can experiment with ideas, question things, all that kind of stuff, and they just want to control that and make it so that you can only do like a certain amount of things within boundaries, and it makes it so that you can't think of new ideas. You can't understand other people's point of view, because instead of understanding other people's point of view, you're only supposed to understand this meta point of view that like controls all other points of view, this like intersectionality, this progressive stack, this whole holistic cult-like idea that they have of reality. And it freaks me out because I feel like most rational people, they approach ideas and topics with an open mind, and then they learn about it as they go on. The more invested they get in, the more they learn about it. And if they are, if they are closed off to important information, then they will suffer from that lack of information. So
you don't like my Space Forces movie that I like? Oh, you're a Nazi.
Yeah, exactly. It's always like, let me extrapolate. I'm way over here about all these ideas. You can't just dislike it. And even so, like if I wasn't doing the Mahler thing where I'm saying it's objectively poorly created, that kind of thing, which I could totally agree with 100%. You know what I mean? Like I actually do. But the problem is that if they want us to not like destroy their happiness, which is whatever it is.
I want to make that though. You hear me to debunk your happiness? I'm going to use that. I like that.
Debunk your happiness. I'm like, well, what about my happiness?
I don't feel shame. I'm here to debunk your happiness. Take this.
Aren't you trying to debunk my anger? Aren't you trying to do the exact like inverse version of what I'm doing here? Like, what if I value my anger as much as you value your happiness? Then take that. Yeah. But because it's a negative emotion. But then even so, it's like, why am I angry? It's because the thing that you're talking about that once made me happy has been altered to the point that it's no longer the thing that makes me happy anymore. And that's just the nature of life. And I don't think that you can get everybody to agree with your point of view, which is why we have an art market. Like if you want this kind of art flavor, go and buy that. And then how much you want to pay, because I think that a lot of people appreciate art more than they support it, but they only want to support things that are really intimately invested in their ideas, their beliefs, their principles, or their imagination. So
the thing they tend to really, I don't know, they really hate things that they don't like, they don't agree with. Like it's really difficult to hate something, to get angry about something that you weren't invested in the first place. That's why love and hate are kind of on the same two sides of the same coin. If you nothing something, then you can't really hate it either. But if you love something, like if you really love Star Wars, then it turns suddenly turns to something insulting, then yeah, you can see a lot of people hating it now because they once loved it. Also, your boy Zach came up with he pointed out really well that these people only have one mood. They only have one mode. It's either 0 or 100. Basically, they always crank everything up to 11. Like it's if you do something wrong, if you step out of line, it's immediately go to emotional reaction of 11. There's no in between. It's either you're off the gas pedal or you're flooring it.
It's 0 to 60 every time.
Can we keep watching the video because I want to see what kind of arguments.
KH and Musha too. She looked like blood is leached out of her face. So. Maybe I can see that. Let's see. Lucky Jinx. Mala did a good job explaining this movie's menace. Yeah, I saw that one. I saw his review on Captain Marvel. He just called her Captain Plank the whole time. It's essentially what she is. Captain Plank.
She spent 4 months practicing that face, apparently.
The blank face. Is that her like resting Karen face? She has resting Karen face.
Resting Karen face. Excuse me? I'd like to speak to the manager of this planet, Nick Fury.
She walks into a place and you instantly know that she's going to ask for the manager immediately. Nick Fury, take me to your manager.
Honestly, I don't think there's been any more rage directed at a movie since, The Last Jedi. Disney does seem to be getting all the undiluted fan hate today, doesn't it? Now, certainly there was a lot of reasons that created...
I'm not sure about...
For sure, Last Jedi was worse because people actually like Star Wars.
Yeah. I was like, I think, The Last Jedi is more boring than Captain Marvel.
No, but but the more people, like, because people were invested in Star Wars, there was more anger at what they'd done to Star Wars in The Last Jedi than they had to Captain Marvel, because there wasn't as many people caring about Captain Marvel.
I'm like, who is this Holdo woman? Nobody knows this. There's no one's invested in that. Who is she?
Especially the sentiment towards Captain Marvel.
I think that
Who cares about this woman? Who is she?
Also, you can more easily headcanon Captain Marvel out and just ignore it.
That's why they did. That's why they put Captain Marvel in the lineup that they did. It's between two major installments. So they went to go to the movie thinking they had to go see it so they can understand what happens next. You really don't. It's kind of a standalone movie, and even worse, it kind of ruins a lot of stuff. It ruins Nick Fury. Nick Fury becomes like Captain Marvel's simp, and ruins his backstory about his eye, where it was really dramatic in the previous movies. Then you find out it was scratched out by a cat or something, because it's silly. It's silly, guys.
Yeah, it's stupid. I hated that.
That quirky, silly humor that they like to do, even if it ruins a character. I say Tyler Preston. Well, Brie Larson is a real life carrot. Remember when she complained about the TFA guy hitting on her at the airport?
There's also that thing where she decided to die on the hill of A Wrinkle in Time wasn't made for you. It's like, what? I'm sure that there are probably women of color.
Can you ever point out a movie or TV show that is made for us? Every time we say, hey, can you make this a little better? And say, was it made for you? What was made for me? Put out what was made for you.
I have a question, because if you honestly said, so obviously, Captain, as she said, I don't care what was it, a white 40-year-old white dude has to say about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him. But I can understand maybe aiming a film towards someone in age, maybe in gender, but race seems to be the strangest aspect of aiming towards someone. And why can't you just make a film that's for all races? Why does it need to do it? And if you went up to someone, say if a woman complained about Star Wars, and you just went up to her and said, it doesn't matter if you don't like it because it wasn't made for you. How insulting!
Just like the good old days of sexism.
No, but just imagine how insulting it is to go up to anyone, and say it's not made for you.
I don't think I've ever done that. I think I've only said to people like, I'm trying to get better at this. Like, if it's not your thing, that's what I say. It's individually like, I don't want to play a horror video game right now, and you don't want to watch a noir. It's fine. We'll go separate ways.
There's a difference between so when you're saying it's not your thing, you're implying that it is, purely just your subjective taste. But the way she's implying it is specifically to do with race and gender.
There's also kind of the issue that usually preferences are not based on the casting, it's the genre.
With the context as well. Like the context of saying
is supposed to be a love letter to black women.
The context is that she's basically telling people to shut up.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear what you have to say about this film based on your race and gender.
They're basically doing what they say nerds do. The nerds are supposedly doing to women all the time. Like, you're gatekeeping them out of the franchise. What they say the nerds or fandom is doing to women in Star Wars or whatever.
There was like, so when I remember like Ashley Eckstein, the voice actor of Ahsoka Tano, ended up saying something which was pretty strange. I thought. So she ended up saying was, little girls get bullied by boys in school for liking Star Wars, saying, it's a boys thing. So that is like very strange to me, because for one, pretty much any geek, any nerd at some point has been bullied over things they're passionate about in school. It's just because it's school. And secondly,
kids are dicks.
When it comes to bullying in schools, it's usually contained within the genders. So, for example, boys will bully boys and girls will bully girls. It's just a very strange social dynamic. And could you really imagine a boy going up to a girl and saying, "Ha, you like Star Wars? Oh, that means you're a fucking geek." Like, no, it would definitely be a girl that would do that. So it was definitely a strange comment by Ashley Eckstein there.
Also, I think that like if a girl liked Star Wars, that would make her I think that would make
her popular.
Yeah, that would make her very popular. That would make her instantly more attractive to geeks. Be like, "You're a girl and you like Star Wars? That is so awesome. Can I go on a date with you, please?"
Maybe in high school, I could kind of see them bullying a girl over like Star Wars in like elementary or something like that.
Maybe
that's something that could happen. But it's not no one's being gate kept out of Star Wars.
You're not allowed to
like
be in Star Wars.
If you like Star Wars, what it is.
Stop projecting like when you were 8 onto everybody. Like, Mom says you have to let me play Star Wars with you. Get out of here, Betty.
Yeah, sometimes it is made for you. Okay, sometimes it's made for the audience that it's made for. Okay, sometimes.
And then you're like, "Hey, can I come into your club and be a part of this stupid thing that you guys do?" They're like, "No, you can't because you're a boy. It's not made for you."
Well, that's sexist. Well, if you don't let me in, it's sexist. And you let them in, and then what these NPC SJWs did was, normal fans went to this clubhouse, and then NPCs said, "Hey, if you don't let me in, you're a bigot." So they go, "Okay, I don't want to be a bigot because nerds are really easy to step on," and so they rolled over the nerds easily. And they came into the house and said, "Okay, well, I love this house. Let's just change everything about it. Let's knock down a few walls here. Let's, you know what? Let's go ahead and kick all the nerds out, and we'll just, I'll just invite all my friends over, and all the nerds leave the clubhouse." So all the fans leave. That's exactly what happened. The NPCs took over Star Wars, and all of the fans left because they kind of made it their own. They kind of knocked down all the walls, destroyed all the legacy characters.
What the hell, Helga? I thought there were going to be boys here.
Oh, chased them away with all its feminism.
And then the money went away. They pissed away the possible $2 billion that they could have made, just like they made Endgame.
Just a random thing. Another thing about like fandoms is that there are like a certain section of girls who like very much like their little special position in like certain position, because it makes them feel special and it makes them. But like, there has been like certain girls who like who I've personally met who don't like the attempt to bring like more girls into the fandom who aren't girls because who aren't like proper fans, because it takes away the special idea that they're the one that they're the girls in the group. It's very, again, it's something that's strange, but it's just something I just got reminded of for like a second because they like the little position.
I think some people. So are you saying some people might actually like being the unique and having attention? Perish a thought. I say KH and Richard 5. Captain Marvel has a new nickname in China, Captain Old Auntie. I really hope that's true. It's totally a Chinese thing that would happen.
Captain Old Auntie.
Yeah. Because if you're like Chinese people, they actually do that sort of thing. They will tell you insults to your face, and they don't care about that sort of thing. They will do that. They will do that.
So they will do very well in Britain then.
I'm really hoping that that's an actual thing that happened. And then now they actually nicknamed her Captain Old Auntie, because I could see that actually not being a joke and actually being real. I hope that's real. That's awesome. It's awesome if it is. So DJ and voices. I like the movie. I just think it would be a little better if it was totally different than the thing I really like. Yeah, it's exactly the sentiment here. I really like this movie. Okay, guys. I just wish it was completely different. I really like Star Wars. I just wish there was, I wish everything about it was completely different. Yeah, that's the mentality. Like they sneak in by saying, "I really like this thing that you like. Oh, that's cool, awesome. Come into the club." I just think we should just change everything about this club. Oh, okay. I guess we might be wrong here. And then they start knocking down walls and putting up, those little weird, putting in some vases and some weird modern art, and then replacing your door with like a stupid bead door thing, and then suddenly you just go, "Hey, this isn't really what we like." And then the NPC you yourself invited in says, "Well, this clubhouse wasn't made for you. It wasn't made for you. Okay, I don't care what you have to say. It wasn't made for you." And then the nerds are like, "Wait a minute, this is our clubhouse. It wasn't made for you. Okay, get out. The clubhouse is female or whatever. The force is female." Telling you they're wearing Forces female shirts. and suddenly Star Wars is they're actively exiling men from Star Wars. So very very rude, very very rude, not all that great.
Created this swirling vortex of hatred directed at the Brie Larson film, and most.
Well,
dude,
someone's being a prick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Literature Devil's internet gas go out?
Apparently. Let's take it over.
Yeah, well, we're taking this thing over again.
Did he really disappear again? Okay. All right. What's up, chat? This is now the Bisexual Lighting Hour, starring me, Glibral Facsimlu, and Shuni, and Dunver. And today we're talking about how Literature Devil's the worst. And Dr. Alpha do not support it on Indiegogo because he's a chud, a reactionary chud. This is unacceptable. And don't celebrate Boncho's birthday. Happy birthday, not Boncho. Gotcha.
Got him. Yeah, he's totally a sexist. He's a totally promoting misogyny, just like Catcher in the Rye. He's doing all sorts of terrible, terrible things in the name of getting Star Wars away from our glorious lady and ass mistress Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah. So I want to see all those nice Fs for Literature Devil's internet gas. We're gonna have to pull a holding pattern here. You guys were going to the whole time. That's right. School of the Americas. What do you know of the Alita Army versus the Carol Corps? I know nothing. You're gonna have to tell me about that, Barry Ben. Hat from Mark in 3D. Mark in 3D. Thank you for the 400 internet huffs. Yes. I don't know where Huff comes from. HUF, but what is that monetary?
I remember looking up before, and I think it might be Hawaiian.
Hungarian. Oh, cool. What up? It's Victor Orban. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. As soon as Literature Devil leaves, we turn this into the leftist propaganda hour. So Lennon was great because Lennon was the greatest musician in the Beatles, obviously.
Yep. We should all watch TYT, of course.
Of course. Yes, and Hassan, we're gonna go to his Twitch stream, obviously. Just be, obviously, chat. You're the best chat. We don't have much that we can do with this since we don't have control over the stream. So if you want to chat about anything, and Shiny and Dunn as well, is there anything going on with you guys? How is you?
I really hate Trump. He's a really bad person.
Yeah, I mean, it's
backwards idiots.
The
fact he's elected probably means he's a backward idiot.
I can talk about. I'm working on a video right now. That's what you've been hearing in the background in my headphones sometimes because I'm working on a maximum action gameplay video. Just experimenting with a bunch of editing and stuff because it's like. I feel like, and maybe you guys have this experience, when you have a project that you're working on, you can maximize the amount of energy that you put into it, and then you kind of like dump, and you just don't want to do any more of it. Like you just have no energy for that thing. So you have to do another thing that's kind of similar. Yeah. What's like an alternative? Cause like aside from what you normally do, Shiny or Done, what's another minor hobby that you're maybe not as good at, but you enjoy? And I want to give that to chat too. Chat. What is like a minor hobby that you want to get better at that you do when you get bored of your main hobby or you're like burnt out?
That's actually a good question. I used to do fencing.
I didn't know that.
I used to do rapier fighting a long time ago. I haven't done it in years. I still own my swords. One of the problems is it's kind of expensive. It's like swords are relatively easy to break, and they're like $100 per sword.
Ouch.
Oh yeah, I bet. Damn. Yeah. So how often do they break? Like, how many times have you broken a sword over how many bouts or whatever? How many sparring matches?
Not very often. I think probably like I broke like 3 or 4 swords in the course of course of a year, I think.
Wow. Okay. So that's wow. So $400 to. So what's the cost, do you think, to become a fencer in all?
There's also the cost of the equipment.
Okay. So by the way, the super chat SGD. I don't know what dollars that is, but from KH, this COVID-19 sucks. Think I might have to celebrate my birthday home alone. Yeah. Well, you're not the only one.
That's what I had.
Not the only one. And yeah, you can celebrate it with us on this chat. So
having a birthday in isolation, I wouldn't know what that's like. Cries and sadness.
Yep, it's a big bummer. But anyway, you know, like people will look back on this as like a weird thing. What I would think about right now is think about something that you can do that like you wouldn't normally be able to do because nobody's on the street. That's not going to happen very often again. You know, where there's just not going to be that many people out or doing anything like that. Or, and I feel like this time period, however you've been using it, is a pretty good judgment of where you're at. Like if you're lackadaisical and not doing anything during this time period, then I don't know. You know, the only excuse that I think you could have is depression, which is reasonable. You know what I mean? Because everybody wants to move on with their life.
Hey, Tyler Preston, if you want to chat about fencing, I'd totally love to chat with you about that in Discord if you want.
Did you? Yeah, go on.
Oh,
just with the isolation, just mentioning that, I'd say that definitely the hardest part for me is definitely just the fact that every day is just the same, and like you don't get out of the house. I get like social because I've got like friends on Discord, I've got this group, and there's other things that I could do in VR. So I'm not that bored, but it just like you kind of like a Saturday is the exact same as a Monday, which is like the same as a Wednesday, and that would not usually be the case if they were outside of the virus.
Oh, it's totally understandable, and that's why it's kind of hard to settle into a routine, because most of the routines you don't really want to settle into, because it's like, oh well, I'm gonna get up and just do stuff around the house, I guess, and not really have the ability to go out and have basic coping mechanisms that have to do with social or purchasing stuff at the market, like getting food you like or buying a new thing or whatever that's not by yourself is off limits. So there has to be a way to redirect that energy.
Just because I'm raring to have a small rant, one thing that really, really pissed me the fuck off is the fact my college asked me to keep working from home, and then just after I fucking finished all my work and I spent 10 weeks on this thing trying to get it to work, and I was really happy that I got it done, they turned around and said, well, none of this is actually going to count towards your grade. We're going to use predicted grades. So
ow, that sucks.
And keep in mind, we've been in isolation for like 10, 12 weeks, probably more. I've lost track. It's been so long. It was since February.
Got another super chat from Ben Z. This one is pretty awesome. For all those that served, cheers on Memorial Day. For all our dead friends, we shall see our brothers in heaven. And clink of the glasses. I'm going to refill my glass in a second, and that's good. Yeah, there's going to be a point today, Mr. Ben, where I play taps and cry, obviously. That's going to happen. But yeah, anybody that served, anybody that knows anybody that served, have a good, healthy respect for that. And anybody that hasn't,
and
have an even greater healthy respect. Yes,
we have a leak in my gas tank.
We made it.
Let's see here. So I think I missed a few things.
Can't believe you left me alone with chat. They were going to kill me.
This is why I have you guys on.
Yeah, exactly. We're here to save the internet gas. We have extras.
You know, it's so that I can have the privilege of being on the Glibcast.
Yes, excellent. My favorite show, but I don't sub to him because he's so inconsistent. No.
Yeah, that's it. That's why. Let's see. Still getting everything back up. Hopefully we can stick around one second. There we go. This say KH much with 5. Appreciate that. This COVID-19 suck. I think I might have to celebrate my birthday at home alone. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that's the whole. Comic Cough is really digging into everyone's fun. It's like a disease version of an SJW.
I was just going
Concentrated communism.
See, this is what happens when you go commie. No one has any fun anymore. You just spend all your time either working or waiting in red lines.
Yeah, I love someone on Twitter that I was following made the argument like people want socialized medicine, but the disease came from a country that has socialized medicine or whatever. I was just like, man, clown world is very. If there was a political party and it was all the clown world people, that's the party I would join. Just like all the people on the internet that are just completely discombobulated from how upside down reality is. Let's form a party. That'll be the best one.
Yeah. This guy.
Did he died again?
I guess so.
Again?
I knew that. I was just about to get up to refill my coffee. Damn it.
Well, I can just chat about fencing. Like,
it's not agreeing with him today, is it?
Oh no, it's not at all. Man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Um.
Sorry, I didn't finish answering. My mother actually came in and asked me a question. Sorry.
No, you should. Yeah, go on for fencing for a second so I can get some coffee, and then I'll be right back.
Yeah, essentially, like, you not only have the sword, you also have the jacket, which could tear. But the main thing that is annoying is the wiring in the sword, because in order for the point system, there is an electrical cord that goes from the sword down through the sleeve of your arm, down out your back, is clipped onto your jacket, goes to a little cord that string that will kind of work like a more loose mountain climbing cable, then up to a computer. And depending on whether it's epee, foil, or saber, there are 3 different methods of scoring points. Aura Master DX, I am a dex build rather than a strength build. I'm relatively slim.
I'm a dex build. I am a luck build.
Explaining like the D&D character.
Yeah. So do you guys know how like the point system in epee, foil, and saber work?
No.
Okay. So basically, there are 3 types, and you need 2 vests on top of your pants and jacket, and the jacket itself is bulletproof. Just to make sure that you don't die, and you also have your helmet. With saber, it's anything on the upper body counts as a touch. And with foil, it's a stab on anything in your torso, any arms, legs, helmet, and legs are off target. With epee, it's anything is a point. It's all parts of the body are a point. And sometimes the way that if you hit it at the same time, the way that you figure it out is either if you're going forward, and you both hit at the same time, you get the point. If he parries you and you hit at the same time, he gets the point. But that's kind of just my spiel on fencing. I haven't done it in a long time, but I still remember a lot of how it worked.
I'm just gonna go into these super chats really quick to acknowledge them.
Yeah.
Sure, Literature Devil will go over them when he comes back. But Gemini Samimi, I'm in. Where do I sign up for the party? The clown party. Where everybody jump in the clown car. We're going to Washington. KH, some more SJD money, which comes from some alien anime land. Yeah, Literature Devil is being attacked by SJWs and NPCs. Yes, obviously, constantly. You know how they hate the devil, sort of, sometimes. Dr. Crow, I've been working on a prop for magic, Saw in Half. That's cool. I like any sleight of hand stuff. I like any effort and into just like craft, anything. If somebody is talking about sabers, that's interesting just as much to me as a car or a steam engine or whatever it is. It's all shades of the same thing. But yeah, this is unprecedented where his internet has been this bad. It's funny to know that like Southpaw has so many microphone issues and we can never figure out what the deal with that is. And then Literature Devil, he just gets disconnected. And I don't know why that is.
Sometimes it's Windows 10. Sometimes it's just his actual internet.
It's always something. And that's what I've learned about technology is that it's, even though like the idea is you get a uniform product, it's never completely uniform because it's still exchanging hands and it still has to do with real world conditions and that sort of thing. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like right now, with everything that's going on, we're all kind of stuck in this cyclical thing that we were talking about before about repetition, which is why I'm doing my Mr. Robot review. That's what I spend most of my time thinking about. And I think an interesting thing to talk about and a question I have for you guys in chat is how big of an influence does the fiction that you read have on your mind and your imagination? Like when you're, when you let's say you have anime and it's important enough to you to make your avatar like your waifu or your favorite character or something like that, or something that you associate with, you buy the clothes of it. What is it about that that's connecting from the reality to the fiction that makes it so real or so important? Because what I think has happened to me as I've gotten older and what I'm trying to understand about myself is that I can't tell if I'm getting older and becoming more cynical about it or if it's the content that's becoming worse, because I feel like it's the second one.
I think it's the second one. I would say, like as a writer, I would say that my biggest influences were Brandon's, in terms of like my writing style, were Brandon Sanderson and Robert Jordan. In terms of my style is very, very similar to theirs. My way of describing is relatively similar. As well as the notion of kind of switching perspectives fairly frequently, even like switching per chapter is sometimes something I'll do. And
I'm trying to suss out the thing that, because I think everybody has a little bit differently, but like the idea of immersing yourself into a world or enjoying a story has different like levels of investment. And fanatic, as we talk about with fans, like the idea that some people are really invested in something, and that comes up a lot when we're having conversations about fandom, like the videos that we cover and all about how we're big dumb fanboys, that kind of thing. The thing that I feel like gets shoved under the rug is that there's an important cultural or personal effect that these stories have. And when we get into like the objectivity and subjectivity thing that just keeps coming up, which I'm actually pretty bored by, and it it negatively affects a lot of conversations that I have. But the thing is that like there has to be a personal investment part, right? So when it comes to Star Wars, for me, I felt like the philosophy and the ideas and the concepts of good and evil and the light politics of it, just the idea of fighting against evil and standing up for freedom and liberty, like basic stuff. That was what connected with me as a kid and kind of carried it forward and kept it sane. So what do you guys think about that? Like, I think that there's something like in the more progressive material that doesn't connect to me in that way at all, because it's obviously much more agenda driven. Like I can't connect with an agenda. But what do you think I'm connecting with? What do you think we're connecting with in the content that's deeper than just aesthetics?
I'm not sure, but I can definitely say from experience what definitely inspires me and has definitely affected my creativity and my imagination a lot is one of my deepest passions, Star Wars: The Clone Wars. It what originally found my way into 3D, my interest in 3D, and I find that when I imagine like scenes or stories, they're very heavily influenced by how they are, how Clone Wars will often do things like its cinematography or its scenes or this, that, and the other. And it's strangely enough to the point where I've had an idea before the latest season came out, and that idea actually somehow was also a similar, almost the exact same idea of what ended up being in the final episode of the Clone Wars, and it was very strange to see that similar idea be applied in almost the exact same fashion of how I imagined it, only in a slightly different scenario.
Interesting. What do you think about that, Dunn?
I think that one of the things that I really liked about Wheel of Time was I really liked getting into the head of Rand al'Thor, who is just kind of a young man who got forced into a destiny that he didn't really imagine for himself. That really appealed to me as somebody who is starting college at a relatively young age, and who really just connected well with this guy who just slowly felt like he was undergoing a lot of pressure, more and more pressure as the books went on. That's something that really appealed to me personally. I also
do you like character development as far as characters go, where they learn more and mature? Is that like key for you in a good story?
I would say so. Like Kaladin Stormblessed, for example, is one of my favorite characters in fiction because he undergoes a lot of development. Same, and Dalinar Kholin in.
Okay, I have returned finally. I think we're going to shut the stream off very soon because I think we're having too many difficulties at the moment. But
I think you have 2 super chats to read right now.
Let me go ahead
One
and get these. Okay, so
one
Ben
from Cage. Yeah.
Ben Z, thank you much for 5. Appreciate that. For all those who served cheers on Memorial Day for all our dead friends, we shall see our brothers in heaven. Oh, fantastic. I like that one. Very uplifting. Let's see here. Demon of that Sword, thank you much for the 999. This wanted to be helpful, trapped in the cycle. We were all trapped in some sort of cycle, at least this morning anyway. And let's see here. And KH, much of 5. I like it if the character is well designed, cute, such handsome, and or a person playing a voice, the voice, etc., etc. I guess it's something we're talking about.
Yeah, we were talking about what is it like that you personally get out of like the connection to a story, to a beyond aesthetics, like a franchise or like the canon, that kind of thing. Like what is it? What do you have in your reality that connects with the fiction, and what in the fiction connects with your reality, and how it sublimates? Because like I've been covering Mr. Robot, so my brain is starting to like get all Mr. Robot-y a little bit.
Oh, interesting. Oh, it looks like I there's some super chats I missed, but we're not in the chat anymore on my end. So I can't put them on screen, unfortunately. Apologize for that, but I can read them out. I will read them out though. So let's see here. Gemini Samimi, thank you very much for 2. I'm in. Where do I sign up?
That was the clown party.
The clown party.
All join the party of all the disaffected people that believe we live in a clown world, and we're all just going to be reasonable.
That sounds good to me. That's all good. Let's all go there.
Yeah.
KH, I'm sure too. He's being attacked by SJWs/NPCs. Maybe, I don't know. It's possible. They don't like me very much. Let's see. Dr. Crow, thanks for $1.99. I've been working on a prop for Magic Saw in Half. Interesting. But Magic was always interesting. It's always an interesting concept. I want to get into it at one time, but I just didn't have the concentration of the patience for it. Let's see. Demon of the Sword, thank you much for the $1.99. It's really helpful. Chapter cycle. Okay, awesome. I think we're almost caught up on that end. So I didn't. Those were not in the chat anymore on my end, but I did catch them anyway. Awesome. So yeah, person playing voice, etc., etc. Awesome. Demon of the Sword, thank you very much for the $4.99. I am influenced by tortured heroes, people like Batman who are burdened by tragedy but are not a lost cause. I long to be like them so badly. Yeah. So I think those are really interesting characters. That's what makes them so interesting. Because even Superman, the ultimate Boy Scout, he's tortured also, believe it or not. I mean, he's supposed to be like the epitome of the superhero, the good superhero. But he's also a tortured being because he's, even back then, way back then, with the whole Fortress of Solitude is a testament to how tortured of a character he kind of actually is. Because he doesn't because while he loves humanity, and he loves certain people of certain members of humanity. Ultimately, he is alone. He is the only one of his kind, pretty much on the planet.
Yes.
Not counting like Supergirls and all that stuff. But even then, he alone bears this big burden that he is the icon, the symbol of hope. So not only is he the only guy on the planet with his lineage and his powers, he's also has the burden of becoming the world's hero, the symbol of hope, and it feeds into his morals. Like he's the guy who feels like he can save everyone. He's a guy he can do anything, can save everyone, and sometimes he feeds into his own mythos, and he believes it. And the thing is, he really can't. He really can't save everyone, not all the time anyway. And so he has that contrast there. So yeah, even Superman is tortured. It's like if you have a sign of a good character. They are tortured to some degree because they have some sort of flaw in them. It's kind of what a flaw does. Yeah, that's why we don't really like Mary Sue's all that much. They're very. That's why we find them very plain, very very uninteresting because they don't have that flesh out aspect to their characters.
No, because they haven't done it as a person.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Demon Without Sword, thanks for the 99. Appreciate that. Forwarded the objection emote just in case. Oh, fantastic. I think I'll implement that. I think we have enough members that I can implement another emoji.
Nice.
And then Simple Tom, have guests plug channels. Thanks. Yeah, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and plug your channels. Of course, the Lord Captain Dunn, his channel is called Tropes vs. Works.
Tropes vs. It's coming soon. We're working on it.
Coming soon.
So, soon enough, I will probably mostly just do live streams since I have no experience with video editing yet.
You will learn.
Eventually, yeah. I'll figure it out.
It's like Arlie Ermy. You will learn. I will teach you.
Yeah, exactly. You will learn. I will teach you.
I just barely got an external hard drive in the mail, so it's a couple of terabytes. So
excellent.
According to those who defend The Last Jedi, video editing is something you can learn, but not from a Jedi.
Mark in 3D, what was the meta super chat that we missed?
I don't. Did we miss one? I don't think so.
He just barely put.
Here it is. Okay, so sorry about that. Market 3D, thank you much for the 400 internet huffs. I guess you're kind of
that one.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So Market 3D, thank you for the 400 internet huffs.
Very good.
So I can't put your chat on the screen, but I did find it. Thank you for pointing that out. Appreciate that. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Obviously, everybody should subscribe to my channel because I'm the best YouTuber of all time, the most honest,
the most honest,
best. Yes, tremendous. Everything is gold in my glib tower. Of course, yeah. No. I make two types of videos. I make videos that are just like experiments for me, like what if I did this and edited this way, recorded this, and I just experiment with ideas or make short little meme videos. And then I have my more serious videos. I'm working on my first one. It's a major thing for me because I'm actually filming some live action segments to match it. But just stay tuned. I don't know. I want to stream more. I'm working out exactly how I'm going to do that and getting my kit together. But I love hanging out here, and let's keep doing it.
Yeah, same.
And Shiny, I know you have a channel that you're working on.
That's subjective. Yes, I have a channel. It's called Shiny Effects. I keep trying to work on videos, but then they don't seem to get out. They don't seem to get finished. I have.
Know what you mean.
I have 5 videos out right now. All of them are interviews, and I'm hoping to have some more media criticisms video on the way. But I have no ETA on those.
Awesome. Right? I mean, it's in development, so everyone's doing good. Everything's doing good, and soon we'll have Lord Captain Dunn and the Trope vs. Works.
Maybe
you gotta do it.
Obviously,
I will do it eventually. My primary focus is getting 8 books finished. I currently have 3 finished, with 4 being 10, with 1 being 10K words away from being finished.
Awesome. Well, that sounds good.
Yeah. Currently, I have 6 books on Amazon. 1 finished series called The Pyrian Chronicles, essentially the basic premise is a very experienced and talented general gets trapped in an extra dimensional prison along with his army, and then breaks out eventually to find that it's 500 years later. And he has to find out who the bad guys that have infiltrated the government of his former empire are, so that he can expunge them. Then I have my anthology series that I'm working on, the Dragon Lord Annals, where I'm basically going through this dragon riding dynasty throughout over a period of several hundred years. It's probably just going to be ongoing. I don't really have an end point. Each book is relatively self-contained, but it's basically just how did each successive generation deal with having dragons. And then I have a half-finished series called the Dark Queen series, where the first book is the story of a lady who was killed and murdered by her advisor hundreds of years previously, and now her wraith has risen from the grave in order to take her revenge at long last.
Interesting. That sounds pretty good, actually. Yeah. Actually, go check out his books on Amazon. What is the author under? Is it under Lord Dunn? Captain Dunn?
B. Malachi Dunn.
Okay. Check him out on Amazon if you're interested in fantasy. That's what you like to write in. That's what's your preferred genre is fantasy. And I also have some good news for Dr. Alpha. We reached $42,500 as of I believe yesterday. And once we get to 43,000, that means another weekend of Danganronpa. Or if we finish that, then Face Night. So, more stuff, more content. And the thing is, also, furthermore, if I still have internet this afternoon, chat, if I'm still up. If I fix all those internet leaks in my internet gas tank, then we'll be playing through Danganronpa some more. I believe sometime this afternoon, maybe around 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Central/Eastern, something like that. But I'll let you know. But it's the idea because it's Memorial Day when everyone's off, so I won't be probably willing to watch a video game stream, or at least interested. At least we have a small audience willing to watch that stream. So later on today, more Danganronpa, and we were just about to hit the trial stage. So should be an interesting development nonetheless. All right, everyone. So thank you, Chet, for joining me today. Unfortunately, we have to cut this. We got to cut this off because it looks like before I get kicked off my own stream again, and I'm unable to end it. So
yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Dunn. Thank you, Shiny. Thank you, Glib, for joining me.
Of course.
And thank you, chat. Always thank you, chat. Best chat ever.
I love you, chat. Chat squad, herder.
Bloomy Hearts, I will put the link to my books in a comment in the video if that's okay with Literature Devil.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And that's everything. So I will talk to you all again later. And I will see you all, of course, next time